Do it live. So if you want to, you can just post in the podcast discussion.
Oh, Thunderdome. So sad.
Pat McAfee's only a year older than me. How sad.
Really?
Yep.
He's 22.
36. He's about to be 37 though, so he's almost 2 years.
Good for him.
Get on an hour early.
Waiting for the stupid 30-second Twitch ad.
That wouldn't happen if you subbed with your Prime.
Back.
Oh yeah, resubscribe.
Justin Gagey, be quiet.
What?
Justin Gagey was on my phone. He was talking to you guys.
Who?
He's Chatty Cathy.
Who? Yeah, I'm only seeing the sub.
You seen this new Amazon series, Fallout?
Fallout?
Fallout.
Yeah, this new Fallout is out. It must be like related to Full House.
It's related to
Yeah, you're right.
Prequel to Fallout.
Yeah.
Danny Tanner's taking care of a bunch of kids, you know,
There you go.
in the post-apocalyptic world.
Post-apocalyptic. Great.
Cleaning one room at a time. Yeah, I was thinking about watching the first episode after this. It's started getting some good reviews, so that's
Yeah,
good.
I've heard it's actually like a sequel. They're saying it's one headline said that.
Yeah, it's not based off of any of the games. It's kind of its own thing. So which is what they needed to do.
Right.
Because then you're just
retreading, yeah.
Yeah.
And people are going to compare it to
what they feel like it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
smart.
Yeah, they announced season 2. I guess they got a tax credit in California, so they'll shoot there for season 2.
Hey, Jameson, your headset microphone looks like it needs some Viagra. That's everything now.
I'm gonna turn on a tablet so we get an extra view.
Jameson, talk to me.
What do you want to talk about? How was Philadelphia?
What do you want to talk about?
You just did a wrestling thing and you don't even know it.
I don't know.
That's funny. Philadelphia was good. I had lots of cheesesteaks.
Oh yeah, where do you go for your cheese sticks?
Well, we went to Chicken Pete's.
Oh yeah.
And I got a lobster cheese steak.
Oh wait, am I supposed to know that since that question's not directed at me?
Well, I didn't know they had them in Montana, so
I lived in Philadelphia for 2 years.
Lobsters? I don't think they have lobsters.
I did my grad school out there.
Listen, I'm putting a thread from last week for our eagle-eyed, eagle-eared listeners.
Yeah, I'd love the comments on that. Learning about geography, just like we were learning about math and the food and stuff podcast the other day.
Oh man, I haven't seen C Dolo in forever.
Who's that?
What's up, Dolomite?
Yo, C Do.
How's everybody doing today? Can you hear me? Can you hear us? How's
Doing all
my
right, brother.
microphone?
We're in the Twitch Dome, brother.
This is the Wild
Stream
West
Dome.
era.
The bearded era.
Era. Oh, was I supposed to tag everyone?
Tag them like our truth.
Or just do a podcast for Fug and Jables?
More chances for them to win at the end.
It's true.
What they don't know is the secret bonus that you don't see behind the scenes if they invite friends. Because that's a thing. Do you have like notifications for subs? Or no, not really. Oh, you probably don't with
No.
StreamYard.
No, not with StreamYard.
Forget you're not using OBS.
Yeah. A little bit of overkill. For once a month. Nice.
Sorry, Jay Black, you have to leave. Skeptical Mario said you won't be here. All right.
Anyone else here?
Yeah, I hear.
Tough crowd. Tough crowd.
Mm-hmm. People might not be used to this early start time.
Yeah.
How many we
sleep-
got? I can't tell.
I got a few extra. People are coming in. Maybe.
If you're here to be an active person, you have to at least say a comment, just so your name gets registered on anything that we look at Twitch.
That is true.
Fly.
And for the extra prize at the end.
All right, I see.
right.
See 9. I think.
Yeah.
You can lurk now, Skeptical. You can lurk.
9 here, but I see 14 on Twitch. So somebody's lying, StreamYard. Oh, good. Corey's here.
Finally.
Now we can start the show. Let's go.
Coffee.
Rocker is in first place for the prize draw. Because that's how draws work around here.
We're doing ducky races. Can we start a ducky race now that lasts 2 hours?
That's a good question, actually.
I told
think we
Pooch to
can.
do that sometime.
You
Just
could
started.
do that, but
Yeah,
that
we
would
can do
have
that.
you'd have to put the names in first. So
Yeah, just Fug and Jables. That's fine. Have them
Uh-huh.
battle it out for 2 hours.
I'm afraid that might be more thrilling than what we talk about. I'm afraid of losing
loser
viewers.
The loser has to play Sea of Thieves with me.
Well, then everybody
Hi.
loses.
I can't do it right now, but I could make like a duck race my background and like it moving, but I don't have time for that. Did anybody in chat watch WrestleMania? Please tell me.
Oh, me.
Yeah, Fug. I
Mhm.
had my alt and I went over to it and it said my Prime sub wasn't available, and I haven't used that alt in a long time, really. So I don't know what's up with that.
Clicked on resubscribe.
But your alt has a Prime sub too.
I mean, maybe.
Mm. Interesting. Well, we'll have to edit that out.
Isn't yeah, but that's the bathwater sub. Oh, edit that out too.
Mm-hmm.
Fanservice.com.
You know what? I'm gonna try to resub right now. I don't know what you guys are doing.
Oh, can we name the ducks? Oh, that's right. We just put their names in, but we could put
Oh, I can sub with my main account.
Yes, I can do it with my main. I've never tried to sub with an alt. 31 months in a row. That's like a year.
Close.
Yeah. It's like a little more than a year.
math.
What's
If you
up,
wanted to get that
nerdy?
math podcast, go to the Food and Drink channel.
Not a math podcast.
Definitely not a math podcast.
What's up, nerdy Neo?
Definitely a fantasy podcast.
I checked.
Neo.
I had your achievement chasers and your roulette stream on today for background noise the whole time. Good stuff.
Yeah, I was trying to get him to play Outer Worlds a lot longer, but
I saw that. Yeah.
he wasn't having it. 15 minutes, that's like loading screens for that game.
I think.
And I guess cutscenes.
And he had a real problem with this game called Never Out not launching. I don't know. That was. I think Neo. I know you don't care about achievements as much on that channel. You should get rid of your completed games, or at least the crappy indie ones.
Are you talking trash to Neo?
I'm talking trash about the game that his roulette wheel picked.
What did it pick?
Never Out.
Never out. One
One
That
word.
smoking one.
No, I don't think so. Never out. Never out.
Never put your cigarette out, I believe. No, never out. All right, all one word. Yeah.
Oh, that game?
Yeah,
That was the cigarette game?
it worked fine. Wow. Go figure, right?
You'd elevate your sub. Ooh.
Is that like going from Subway to
Is that like double meat? Like
Jersey Mike's?
Be right back.
I was just about to say something sandwich related.
we get the tomato and the mayo, please.
Because he made a Subway joke earlier, and if
He
we're
did.
really serious, Subway is bottom tier
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
as far as sandwiches go.
Pretty
Sandwich.
much.
That's what I was saying. When he elevates it, it
You
goes
watch your
from-
mouth, bitch.
Whoa.
I mean,
I hear every
don't
word you're saying. Well, listen, it was top tier when they were $5 footlongs. Let me put it that way.
listen here. If you
Like
walk
20 years
into
ago.
a Subway,
Yes.
you have to take a shower as soon as you walk out. The smell sticks to you.
Mhm.
Oh, they have such good veggies, good sandwiches, good cookies, good everything.
I prefer Firehouse subs. That's my favorite.
Yeah,
They're
that's
also
my
so
wife's favorite.
slow, though. I mean, they're good
They-
at getting to fires,
are
but they are
slow.
very slow at putting sandwiches together.
Just order it ahead of time. You know, it's problem solved.
Yeah, I should have.
That is
But I don't know. Their sandwiches are so saucy, and I like a sauce. I like a good sauce.
like a French dip, I'll bet.
I love a
Oh.
French dip.
I love
I
French
knew
dips.
I could count on you to be a French dip guy.
Yeah.
They're usually like, no matter what restaurant you go to, they're usually decent, no matter where. If you can't find anything else, you can always count on a French dip.
Mm. That's about the French dip. It doesn't have to be crunchy, right? It doesn't have to have good
Yeah.
toasted bread. It's gonna be a
I
soggy
mean,
mess.
it helps, but it certainly is fine without.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, I'm there with you, Ace. I just I bought into all of the apps and everything. So anything that I do that I can do an app, I just order it through. I get easy rewards and just go
Yeah.
right ahead.
And you just
Now,
walk in and get it.
somebody needs to make one app that contains all the other apps.
Mm.
I just have a folder on my phone that contains all the restaurant apps.
That's not a bad idea.
That's true. The deals are only in the apps. You know what? Good job, Fug.
Except for Arby's. Arby's is the one that no matter what I do, I can't get into Arby's rewards. So I gave up on them.
They just want you to pay for the meats. Sonic is a must, though. Have half price drinks all the time.
Oh,
If they're half price all the
half
time,
price drinks all the time.
they must be getting
Yeah,
approaching
be
free.
that
They
guy.
must be approaching free. It is a math
Oh,
podcast. There you go.
Only in the app.
Okay.
Let's blow your mind and tell you that I've never had Arby's.
Your loss.
That's kind of okay. I'm
Is
okay
it?
with that.
I'd rather go to
Roy
Arby
Rogers.
somewhere
sauce
else.
is one of
Somewhere
the
else.
best condiments from a fast food place.
Aren't they the
It
horsey
beats
sauce?
mild sauce.
they do
No,
have
no.
horsey sauce.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're
but
the
That-
horsey sauce.
That's
right?
disgusting. That's disgusting.
I don't like that. Yeah, I agree.
Oh.
But Arby sauce. I have a bottle of Arby sauce in my refrigerator.
Like bumper.
I don't know what you
Bad one.
meant by that.
RB,
Hmm.
dumbass. It's not that hard to figure out.
Didn't they used to have some kind of
know that-
berry sauce too, like a decade ago?
Did you know that RB's is RB as in roast beef? Like, did you know that, Corey?
All I know
You
is I
do
like
now.
my beef saucy. Speaking of,
God.
welcome
fuck.
Saucy Slingo.
I mean, darn.
watch your mouth, sir.
It is watched. Very watched. With
I,
bath.
I do have to say,
salt.
those Arby's fries
some
are
salt.
good. I do like the curly fries.
Top tier.
Mm-hmm.
Five Guys.
Those are good.
Five Guys
Those
are
are good.
the best straight fries. You know.
I mean, it's literally like they slice a potato and give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. To that, I say, welcome everybody to Achievement Hunting 101. This is level 298. With us this week, we have a ragtag motley crew. Above me is
Ooh,
Wild
ooh,
West.
Tag me in. Tag me in. What's going on, guys?
Ooh.
It's a ladder
made
match. You
work.
don't need to be
And-
tagged in.
Oh, sorry. There goes my
Now
lack
everyone
of
knows the
wrestling.
secret. Wait a minute. Diagonally is Coach Mos.
Hello. I will not be partaking in that
okay.
theme. Just have you know.
I'm so confused.
Without a tan.
And
Never a tan.
Rounding up.
And new.
rounding up the fatal four-way, we have Rocker Dude.
Nope.
Yo, what is up, everyone? I'm here. Don't fear. I don't have a beer.
You look quiet today. Very good.
I
very
look
good.
I look quiet,
Mhm.
very soft
Yep,
tones.
you do. You definitely do. You look quiet. Oh, so what you're
Thank
trying
you.
to ask me is how was WrestleMania?
What's
WrestleMania
editing?
Oh, very good. Thanks
weekend.
for asking. Thanks for asking. I spent time in Philadelphia as a New Yorker and didn't get killed, so I'm very grateful. Thanks for asking.
That's true. That is dangerous.
But you
Well,
were
the-
60% of the way there.
The Eagles weren't playing. The Sixers aren't in the playoffs yet. Phillies just started their season. I think you're safe for now.
Flyers nowhere to be seen.
Flyer,
Good,
I'm
good.
home with free batteries, though, right? You don't get a lot
Well,
of
they
batteries.
throw
free?
batteries at they throw
Yeah.
batteries at me. Yes, yes.
Oh,
Right.
yes.
Luckily, not the D kind. It was just like AA.
Ah,
One thing cool about Philly, though, is that all their sports venues are in the same place.
Yep.
So their baseball stadium, their hockey stadium / basketball, and the Link. 70,000 people at the Lincoln Financial Field, and it's the most boring stadium alive. Football stadiums are boring. Don't go there. Baseball stadiums are
got
the
it.
best. More colorful.
How about we just stay away
Right,
from
I know
all
you're all
stadiums?
We're teaching you all about baseball, Corey. I know that you downloaded MLB The Show. We'll teach you
true.
all about baseball. In the name of achievements, you will learn the sport. That works sometimes. Just like how
Why don't they
fantasy
call it
baseball can
bat
help you
ball?
learn. You can call it that. See if it catches on.
Just
just don't
curious.
go. Just don't go into stadium saying that.
It should be bat balls, really. Has anyone seen the bat balls?
Probably Robin.
Crickets.
speaking of
Oh,
bats and balls.
That was a superhero joke.
was cricket the sport or what we're hearing after talking? Is that what you're trying to say? That's not nice. All right, well, let's get to the question of the week that we asked our fine patrons to answer. It was a doozy this week, a doozy. And I think Kush is going to ask it since he was not here last week and we missed him terribly because he went somewhere.
That's true. I went to the Ocean City, Maryland.
The beach.
The beach.
Hey,
It's
I've been
actually
there.
a beach.
I could actually do air quotes for people seeing me now. The beach.
An actual beach. I probably have some sand in my shoe. All right. So I ask, you can only preserve one game from each system to represent or define the entire console generation. That's the OG, the 360, and the Xbox One. Which games do you preserve? And briefly, tell us why.
That was an excellent reading of your own question, Kush.
Thank you.
He's,
Yeah.
you're welcome.
You got the inflection right and everything.
You did. So of course we're gonna go with Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo Infinite, and we're good. All right, on to Game Showcase, everyone. So now first we'll go to patron Fufu Cuddly Poof, who says OG Xbox has to be Halo. That game redefined first-person shooter games and gave the Xbox its biggest mascot. Who's the mascot of Halo? Cortana?
Ooh. Master Chef.
Master Chef? I think that's later.
Oh,
I don't know. I think Cortana was more of a household name, don't you think? It was a very popular. It's like Siri and Alexa, right? Is that still a thing? Or is that
Definitely
dead?
still a thing.
That's cool. Yes, I have a feeling we'll be hearing a lot from Halo. So moving on, we're going to go to Xbox 360 for Fufu. He says, I'll cheat a little bit and say Orange Box. Team Fortress 2 is a big first-person shooter game, even to this day, and is immensely fun. Half-Life 2 did a lot with physics and stuff. IDK man, I don't like the game, but I know it's super important and stuff. Oh my god. And Portal is God tier puzzle game. All right, we can agree on that. For Xbox One, I'll go with Halo Master Chief Collection, not because it's Halo or because I think it did something great, but because Google tells me it's the most popular Game Pass game. And let's be honest, Game Pass is the only thing that console gave us. RIP exclusive one games we never knew you. Well, there's a lot to unpack there. I mean, Orange Box, yeah, you did cheat. That's probably more of a PC collection. But it did come out on the 360. And as far as Master Chief Collection goes, that was quite a collection. It had a rough start, but it got better.
It's on PC
But-
too, though. What are you gonna say about that?
That doesn't count.
Why not?
Well, the Xbox One is basically a souped up PC.
I would
I
say
mean,
sit
it was-
down PC.
Okay, that would that is correct. You're right. It's soup. It's with a lot of water added.
I just
Like
didn't know where the
canned
line
soup.
in the sand was drawn with that.
All right. Well,
Was it the
out
beach,
of the
Corey?
gate-
Stop dropping hints.
that's sand. I mean, that's a salt water. But out of the gate, Fufu says that the only thing the Xbox One gave us was Game Pass. What do you guys say to that? Corey, what do you say to that? Who's
What
not?
the Xbox like? He said what? What inflammatory
Xbox
statement did he
One
say?
only gave us.
The only thing that
Pass.
Xbox One ever gave us was Game Pass.
That's because he's only played 4 games and they've all been on Game
Ah,
Pass.
there it is. There it is.
Couldn't say Zoo
Gosh.
Tycoon.
He probably
Zoo
would say Zoo
Tycoon,
Tycoon.
360, Zoo Tycoon on the one. Windows Phone. Well, I disagree with that sentiment. We'll move on to Vulgar Latin. His OG Xbox game is Jet Set Radio Future. It's different and quirky and fits the different games the Xbox was trying for in the early years. Okay. If you're not going to pick Halo, Jet Set Radio is a good choice. I actually had the Dreamcast with the OG one, the OG Jet Set Radio, called Jack Ryan Radio here for some reason, but it's really Jet Set Radio. And that game is it's a classic, but it's too difficult for me. Too difficult. Xbox 360 Vulgar says Forza Horizon 1, refinement of what worked and iteration. And Xbox One Halo Master Chief Collection, honoring the past by making games for the future. Fits the one, really. Rocky Start but found its footing after time, plus it lets me cheat and get all the Halo. All right. Shocking that Vulgar would go with a collection game. He doesn't quite talk about those usually.
I think it fits though. Like his reasoning kind of mirrors the Xbox One.
Any thoughts on Forza being the Xbox 360 choice of a generation?
It
That's
is the
not really
best
my
driving game,
forte.
right?
That was the one that I kind of was thinking about for
No.
the 360 too.
Burnout Paradise is obviously.
I mean, I don't think you can compare the two.
Yeah, they're definitely.
There's cars. There's arcade racers.
Well, there's the open worldness of Forza Horizon 1 versus you have to drive down that street in Burnout. Is that the one I'm thinking? Is that the one with the crashing?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the one where you burn out.
Yeah, when you just have to crash. It's all about doing the most damage with your car, right?
Yeah, up and crash.
In some
Well,
modes-
the,
in
the,
some
the
of the
old the
modes,
old burnouts.
Yeah, the old Burnouts. Yeah. Or as I like to call them, the Burnouts.
It's
But
your college
I
game
would-
of
I would-
choice, yes.
I would want to know why he says Forza Horizon 1 when I'm pretty sure up to 3 was out on the 360. Like, wouldn't those be better numerically? 4 was out on the 360.
No.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now.
4?
Forza Motorsport 4 came out October
Oh,
of
that's
No, 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 no,
2011.
no. That's the wrong Forza. That's the bad Forza.
Yeah, that's the
You like the
Oh,
Forza
that's poop.
Horizon.
That's poop. That's poop.
I
okay.
think 2 was the last one that did.
Two probably
That's the
came out.
one for people who don't like fun. That's what
Yeah.
that's for those people. It's fascinating that someone would pick a car game. Fascinating.
I mean, it's infinite replay ability.
All right. Well, I am
Right.
impressed that people stuck with picking one game and didn't try to give a bunch of honorable mentions.
Yeah, who would do that?
But that said,
No one on this panel.
No one on this
I
panel.
will try. I will try to stick with one. I mean, I'll join the Halo parade. OG Xbox to me didn't have too many classics, which I'm sure there are some, and we'll get to more later. But that was the one that I played the most. And it wasn't the campaign, it was the onlineness of it, the fake onlineness, because it was a LAN party game mostly, but there was ways to play it online with Xbox Connect and stuff like that. And 4-player split screen multiplayer was also fun. 360, I'm going to say Gears. And you could argue between Gears 1, which came first, or Gears 3, that included Horde, and it was bigger in scope. But I prefer 1. I like the campaign better. I like the music better. I like the story better. So I like Gears 1. And Xbox One, I think I'm going to have to go Hades. I'm still playing Hades. Almost done with it. I'm very sad to be almost done with it, to be honest. I'm really looking forward to the sequel. All right. We're going to go to Wild West next.
All right. I am going to start with a write-in from Nerdy Neo, who says on the original Xbox, we've got Ninja Gaiden Black. He said push the Xbox to its limits. On the 360, he said Skyrim, or maybe Portal 2. And then on the Xbox One, he has the Master Chief Collection or Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So,
Now would
right
be
in
that.
So I think those are some
Oh,
good choices there. I think on the one you could kind of see a lot of collections that we've started mentioning, and I think we'll continue to mention as going on. So I don't know how that Gaiden. I'm sorry, I don't play those games, so I'm sorry. Matriarch comes in with OG Psychonauts because I like it. 360 Lost Odyssey because I like it, and on the one Rice because screw you haters. I would more honestly go with Halo, Gears, Titanfall, all big successful MP shooters that future shooters within their genres were inspired by. And that was kind of my answer for the one was Titanfall. That was the game that made me want to get the Xbox One right off the bat. I got that and played that and I enjoyed it. Yeah. That was kind of the big one for me that really started that generation. I didn't say Rice. I said Rice. Rice, son of Rome.
He's
son of Rome.
saying
What do you want to do?
Yeah, the green
Rice?
Rice.
Yes.
Rise up.
Rise, son of Rome. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Our next patron, we're going to go to X, the Pagan Hero, who writes, OG Xbox is probably the worst system I've ever owned in terms of buying and enjoying games. There was just very little that interested me. I got the console for Amped. Have I ever shared that? I suppose the obvious answer is Halo, but I never played that. I guess I'll go with Tony Hawk's Underground because of the ability to rip CDs into the hard drive and skate to your own soundtrack. They were mind-blowingly cool as a kid and was something that you could only do on Xbox.
That's a fair point.
I do remember doing that. I'm trying to remember which game. I can't think of it right now, but I do remember putting some, some of my music on there and listening to it while I played. And I forgot about that. That's pretty cool. 360 is a bit easier. Oh,
Yes.
I just wanted to say real quick that there was a WWE game that was very, very bad. It was called WWE Raw. But the cool thing was that you could rip your music and use that music as entrance music. So that was very, very cool for your creator wrestler.
Yeah, that is
So you
pretty
might
cool.
appreciate that.
That is
Yeah,
pretty cool.
to this
I'm
day-
pretty sure
To this day,
like,
you cannot do that.
you could listen to whatever music you ripped, no matter the game, right? But then obviously some games had that stuff. I think. I have memories of playing Counter-Strike all night long and listening to Modest Mouse while doing it via that.
That's not all right. At all.
Anyways, please continue.
Sorry.
All right.
Sorry,
X, oh, you're good. You're good. All right. X goes on to say 360 is a bit easier. I feel like the obvious answers are Gears or Halo 3 or Call of Duty Modern Warfare or Blops or Skyrim. But I'll
I
go
was
with
just giving
Lost
props
Odyssey.
for picking one. Okay.
He says, I'll go with Lost Odyssey. Even though the genre
Interesting.
isn't for everybody, it's a perfect example of the 360 just perfectly nailing a genre. Perfect classic JRPG combat with some modern flair. Excellent character design, great graphics, amazing story, great cinematics, and a fair but challenging achievement list, which I think is an important factor for this generation.
Tell me you used to be an English teacher without telling me.
Goodies, commas.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Commas everywhere. Any thoughts on that? I have not done Lost Odyssey yet. Think it's a genre defying for the 360.
One that I've wanted to play for many years, but very intimidating. I know it was like 4 discs, and it's a long RPG, and there's some crazy missable achievements, so it's very intimidating. I think it's 60 to 80 hours. Wow, 2008. Oof. But if X says it's good, I trust him. Actually, believe it or not, X the hero.
I would agree. I think that's kind of in that level, especially with all the other examples you given. The easy answers. The one with that I think is a good choice. Xbox One has to go to Killer Instinct. Again, fighting genre isn't for everybody, but the amount of love and support that went into this game is damn impressive. It showcased how content updates / balances should be handled by listening to user feedback. It had a fair DLC and microtransaction system, and most importantly, it just plays flawlessly and is a ton of fun for fans, new fighting game players, and veterans alike. So I would agree with that. I used to be big on fighting games growing up. I have not played a lot of them recently, but Killer Instinct was one that I saw quite a bit, in the different stores being promoted, and I think it was kind of universally liked, when it came out, and content updates and the love they give it. So I would agree with that.
I do give it credit for what he says. Like, I am not good at Killer Instinct, but you could put it on easy mode and button mash, and you will hit combos, and you will get moves off, and you will most likely beat the computer.
Yeah.
And it's a type of game where I'm sure you can master and destroy the noobs, but in the meantime, you won't get destroyed by the computer. So it's cool like that.
Yeah.
Achievement list though, no.
I mean, if you love achievements, it's got a ton of them. So
Sure, there's a lot.
I like a lot of achievements. They kind of went overboard, but yeah.
makes it easy for those TA contests, right?
I like press left 32 times in a match. That's a little much.
All right, and the last patron response that I will read is March Madness Barry. March Madness is over, just FYI, Barry. Halo 2
So is
OG.
March.
So is March. That's true too. OG Halo 2. Halo 2 on the original Xbox. The first Halo is more iconic, but if you can only keep one, I'm keeping the better Halo game. For the 360, says Gears of War 3. Love the story. Gameplay was perfect. Great multiplayer modes like Horde and Beast, and lots of rewards you had to earn and not buy. And then for the Xbox One, he says Arkham Knight, another trilogy ender, main story, side stories, fighting, fun collectibles, and a drivable tank. This game has it all. I love the Batman lore in there. I love the choice there, especially being a little bit of a different choice.
I mean, that's not the most well-known Arkham game, right? But let's get a bad rap because it's the third one.
No, I think they get a bad rap because of
The
the
first
tank.
two were so
The
good.
tank
Oh.
was for a lot of the combat was good. The game, the map was good, but yeah, the tank. Some people just could not get past it.
Yeah.
It has its own bad version of tank controls. That's what you're saying.
Ew.
Ish.
Yeah.
Ish.
For my answers, I mean, I would, I profess my love for Halo on the show, so we've talked about that. But I wanted to put another one out there that I didn't see anybody talk about for the original Xbox and for 360. Fable. I thought Fable was pretty, was universally loved. So I'd like to throw that one out there for the original Xbox. The 360. I think Kinect Adventures kind of showed the power of the Kinect, which is what the 360 was like. Kind of showed off those peripherals they had. Another one was Minecraft. Didn't see a lot of that, but that's $1 billion franchise right there. So, and then Series One or Series X and Xbox One, I didn't really have. I'm kind of with Fufu. I was thinking about it, and I mean Titanfall was the closest one I could get, but that was on. I don't know if it really you would consider that a one that defined this genre, this generation of Xbox games. So that's about as good as I had.
Very cool. Very cool. I need to quickly chime in, and we had a response from new patron Kronos. Thank you for joining. He sent this right before he went to bed, so I meant to read it, but I didn't. So I'm jumping right in real quick. He did not pick an OG Xbox game, but he said the 360 is basically like 3 different generations in one: a Kinect, arcade, and everything else. Seems unfair to try to limit that to a single pick, but I think it has to be a Kinect game if you do, because that's most unique to the platform. So Kinect Adventures. That is a wild pick, and I kind of love it, to be honest with you. I'm on the pro Kinect camp. Dancing games, but Kinect Adventures really showed off everything with the jumping and just everything you could do in that game.
And that kind of showed what the 360 was about, in my opinion, just trying different things. They were trying to catch up to PlayStation. They wanted to innovate, and they did. So.
And Xbox One, he says, is a messy generation. What defines a console but its exclusives, even if timed, and Kinect doesn't work here. Where the Xbox One excelled, if perhaps controversially, was on the indie side. Picking a good quintessentially Xbox indie is tough. I'll pick Oxenfree, not because it's definitely the best, but because it was uniquely good, and playing it with headphones and having the Xbox friends list features and controller vibration really enhanced the impact. That's a cool pick. If you haven't played that game, people on your friends list would show up in the game. I don't want to spoil too much, but it was cool to have that. And you had to tune a radio. So yeah, the vibration and the headphones combined helped you tune the radio. So that was very cool. That is totally a Kronos pick, and I love it. And we did Xbox Game Club on that. Right, Kush?
Yep. It's out there on the YouTube.
That was Freem? Or was that Kronos?
It was Kronos.
It was both of them. I think Freem might have been on one or two. And I like that pick. All right, off to Kush.
All right. Freaky Rose says for the OG, he goes Fusion Frenzy. I think he's serious. Hands down, one of the best couch party games of any of the systems.
I don't want to hear no hate for Fusion Frenzy.
Xbox 360, he says Fusion Frenzy 2. I still think he's being serious. It's hands down a horrible sequel. Okay, all right. So I do not
Oh,
choose
you've
it
tricked
here. He tricked me. I choose Gears of War. Start of a solid franchise and one of the most iconic commercials of that generation. That's true.
Wow.
They had the
Mhm.
really cool music, and they kind of
Metal.
kicked off that whole remix, the slow remix of a song to launch a title,
Mhm.
launch a game. He says for the Xbox One, it's Rise. Despite being a launch title, I think it still holds up today. And you are correct; it does hold up your game playing today. It
Mhm,
takes
mhm.
forever to load, but it is very pretty, and I think he's right. It feels good. It still feels good. It just takes a long time to load
Mhm.
those levels for whatever reason.
Does it still take a
Heiser.
long time on the series? I haven't played it on the series.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
It's
Does it?
like
Okay.
you would expect it to be significantly faster, and it's not.
Okay.
Pretty sure about that.
Yeah, it was talked
Um,
about in the chat today, I think. Fulgur says that it's time gate. I don't know. He had a word for it,
yeah,
but it's
it might have just been a set time instead of like based on resources, but
Okay.
not sure.
Wow.
Ahizo says the OG Xbox. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. When you ask someone for a short list of the most defining, iconic, and well-made, well-written RPGs of all time, it's hard to imagine this not making the list basically every time. The story was amazing, traversing the worlds was great, the characters were great, and the combat worked very well for something that wasn't typical KOTOR. There was a period there that wasn't typical. Moving on, KOTOR walked so other major RPGs like Dragon Age and Mass Effect could run. Sorry, I murdered that. Such a good statement. Xbox 360, Gears of War. This is the cover-based third-person shooter. For a long time, new games in the genre were looked at like Gears clones, and for good reason. Next couple of games greatly improved on it, but it started here. Yeah, like it had the best cover shooting, right? Because it would snap to the cover, unlike what any other game had done before.
And you could shoot over it. Could
Yeah,
throw
exactly.
grenades, yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, no, and it's I hate games that don't do that as a result. So it really made its mark. Xbox One, he says, honestly, I can't think of anything that really stands out as deserving to represent the console here. Maybe I'm missing something obvious, but I don't feel like the Xbox One or even the series have really gotten anything I could call iconic. Gun to my head, I'd probably say the Master Chief Collection. An incredible series, all brought together in a way that really highlighted what you could do with a re-release of some sort. It's used as the reference point when people ask for other collections like Gears of War because it handled everything so well. I think it also did a good job of like paying homage to the original version. It was one of the, it was the first game that would allow you to see the original graphics, like switch immediately between original and upscale.
Mhm.
And that was really cool to be able to, because right, we play games and our memory of it is very different than what we actually see, and we remember it at a higher resolution than it actually existed. So it's pretty cool to be able to kind of flip between the two of those.
And then you could, I don't know if it was the first collection, but you could just download the games you wanted to, right?
Yes, you didn't have to.
So you didn't have to spend 200 gigabytes on. If you just wanted to play the original Halo, you just download it and go and play.
Now, I don't think they did that like day one, but I think very quickly they added the
but
ability to just download just the pieces you wanted.
And their playlists were amazing. Once they got everything situated, it was a terrible launch, but you could go in and just, if you just absolutely loved Halo 3 stuff, you go into a Halo 3 playlist and play.
And that is something I'm going to get to in my answer. I kind of changed on also with what X said. I'll kind of refer back to that hopefully.
Real quick, I think the first Halo on the Combat Evolved Anniversary made it so you can switch the graphics on the 360, and the collection had that for Halo 2. And it was like super enhanced.
Cool. Chewy on Ice, that little chimney sweep says, I never had an OG Xbox. This is my chimney sweep impersonation, so can't offer anything there. On the 360, my pick would be Portal 2, not just because it's one of the best, cleverest, funniest, and most enjoyable games ever made, but also as yet another reminder that Koosh Moose hasn't played it yet because he's a dumb head.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to argue with that.
Shots going out.
Moving on, he says, on the one, my pick would be the Sexy Brutale. Not just because it's one of the best, cleverest, funniest, and most enjoyable games ever made, but also because I just found out that Koosh Moose hasn't played it yet, which makes him a double Dum Dum hit. Yeah,
Wow.
This is true.
Rude.
He's targeting
good.
someone.
this is good. Yeah, I cannot argue that. Now for my answers. I'm switching back to my American accent. For the OG, I would say PsyOps, the Mindgate conspiracy. But that's just because I like throwing in multiple references. But I guess it's probably really Halo. I just think that PsyOps did a fantastic job of,
wow.
being that action game that you couldn't get on like PlayStation at the time. I don't think. It just felt like the adult system. Like, oh, I'm playing adult games because this controller takes 3 hands to operate. It's that big. Like it basically is a coffee table.
Wow.
So to me, it was a step up to these games from like Mario
Well,
or from like Crash.
I don't remember learning that you liked that game. I'm trying to remember if you've told us.
You don't remember that I like PsyOps? Oh man,
I don't remember.
that's one of the games I
No,
just
there's
wish.
this other game that you talk about.
Oh yeah, oh no. Well, my first answer, L, but you stole my joke, was Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead Redemption, Red Dead Redemption 2 was my joke
That works.
answer
That works.
for the 3, but you stole
Well, I was
that.
going to make a point that PsyOps I've never played, but one of my favorite bands, Cold, had a couple songs in there that were made just for that game. So
Yes.
wanted to shout out Cold. Great band.
For the Xbox 360, I would say Shadow Complex. Surprising no one.
Whoa.
And the reason is because indie games. That was the first time that we got indie games on a console, to my knowledge. So not only could this play, AAA games that you buy and get on a disc, but you now have the ability to download these smaller indie titles that can take risks, they can do things differently. So that was really important, I thought, and it's representative in my mind of something about the 360, but also Grand Theft Auto 5, just because it owned everything. And it also highlights the onlineness of the 360 and how that became a really big part, in my mind, of the 360. Once again, this is just in my mind, so it doesn't have to be true. And finally, on the Xbox One, I'm going to go, once again, for kind of the indie, going to go Hollow Knight. Because now we're seeing indies as top tier, super popular games. Granted, not an exclusive, but just a really big part of the consoles. And then I'm going to go with kind of the tie into the Killer Instinct and such. I'm going to go with No Man's Sky, and I'm going to go with that because I think that in this console generation, we see games as a service. We see games that start out rocky, but then get iterated upon, get better and better and better, and they just have this huge life on that console. It's not just a $60 purchase and you're done. This console was all about trying to get you to marry a game and play that game forever. And so I think that No Man's Sky was pretty representative of that. So there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's something I didn't really think about with games as service. Yeah, I mean that's definitely the Xbox One or Series X, because you've got the Fortnites and PUBG first, then Fortnite, and then Grand Theft Auto kind of does it as well.
Hey, Corey, you still here, Bubs?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, you're the main event. Bring us home.
All right. First up, we have Hurricane Dale. Now remind me, is he Australian?
Yeah.
Okay, here's my Australian Hurricane Dale. For me, it has to be the OG Battlefront 2, mate.
Oh.
All right, that's it. He says it's the ultimate Star Wars experience. Huge Star Wars free play battles, a great campaign, and galactic conquest. I've never played, but have heard good things. So sure. On the 360, he picked Halo 3. A popular opinion. He has such fond memories of custom games like Jenga Tower, Duck Hunt, and Garbage Man. Did not know such things existed.
Me neither.
And on the one, he is
Foo-foo.
going the cowboy route with Red Dead Redemption 2. What a game. Loved the story and gameplay and really showed how far we've come with video games. I do agree. It was sort of revolutionary. It's very long. I didn't finish it, but still good. Moving onward to Philip Wendell. For Xbox 360, he picked Carcassonne, which is one of the few games he kept playing after he completed it. That is a really good game. I would agree, and it is perfect when you want to play it and you don't have people to play it with.
Oh.
Those things, yes. Xbox One, he picked Yoku's Island Express because it was a good game and no one else would pick it. Fair, true. And on the Series X, he's picking Hades for no reason.
He just made his own categories because
He did.
Yeah. That's for Hades, so okay.
Yeah, Hades gets its own thing here. And then Skeptical Mario, he seconds everybody else's choices of Halo 2 and Gears 1 for the Xbox One. Everyone. And then Sea of Thieves, I guess, for the... Wait. Hold on. I'm reading this.
what are you doing?
It's not the punctuation's not lining up for my brain. So I second others' choices for Halo 2 and Gears 1 for Xbox One. Then he says, I say Sea of Thieves because it symbolizes the shift.
Okay. Go ahead.
It symbolizes the shift to a live service paradigm that isn't a dried out husk of an IP. I do agree. I don't play Sea of Thieves. I don't particularly choose to play it ever. But I will say that is a game that I know many people have sunk hundreds of hours into easily.
Thousands
even.
Yeah.
If I had to pick some games, I thought we were talking about exclusives. So that's where I started my choices. And so for the Xbox, I'd have to go Blinks the Time Sweeper. It's one of the first games I saved my money for and bought myself.
It was supposed to be a mascot, right?
It was supposed to be a mascot, and I went head first, all in, and got it at Funko Land, pre-ordered Blinks the Time Sweeper, along with NFL Fever 2002, I believe. And man, what a time to be alive. Those were good games. Xbox 360 is harder, obviously a lot larger of a library. And I just don't know what I would pick, to be honest. I do like Shadow Complex, but it's on PC, it's remastered. I have no 360 like. Oh, I take it back. You guys tell me. Well, no, this isn't exclusive, but I'm still going to say it anyways because it's what I was researching. Skate 3. It revolutionized skateboarding games for me. I don't think there's been anything better since Skate 3. And well, except for the remaster of Tony Hawk, but that remains to be seen in this choice. So yeah, Skate 3, and then Xbox One. It was not on my list, but after hearing you mention Titanfall, I'm going to go Titanfall. It is the game that I bought the Xbox Titanfall bundle, and so as soon as that came out, I was 100% into it for however a month or so. It was like a birthday present to myself, and it was like the last big thing I bought myself before I had a kid at the time. And so it was like a little gift to myself. And I completely enjoyed Titanfall 1.
Titanfall. But that game's a 360 game, so.
Well, so GTA 5 is the Xbox One game, so there.
Oh, right. True. And a 360.
and 360 and
That's
Xbox Series.
We don't make them Kush, though, just you. All right. Great games mentioned all around. Thank you for your question, Kushmos. Thank you to our patrons for your wonderful answers. Okay. In April on TA, we've had a couple of things we're working on. First one, of course, is our targets. And there's one for playing games with ratings of 4 stars or more. That one's easy. You just have to play Goat Simulator 3, right, Corey?
As long as you play it when the target is active, yeah. That is a 4-star game, baby.
Corey. Did you not click on start the target?
No. I did, but we were
Oh.
playing it and it was midnight for you, but not me. So your stuff counted,
Oh,
mine
right.
didn't. Yeah,
That's okay. I remember that now, but we're going to play it again. You'll be fine.
I'm already done. I'm already done with
It's only
target.
3 games.
Oh, okay.
You get one
Oh,
achievement.
it's-
It counts, so.
It's only 3 for gold,
Yeah.
right?
That's
Yeah.
pretty easy. Yeah. There's one called It's a Target, where you need to get 6 achievements that start and end with the same letter. And there's one called Use a Guide for earning 6 achievements with the missable flag. That one I do not have yet naturally. I will have to check that out. I'm sure there's some easy ones. I think I'm trying to use Marvel Ultimate Alliance because the DLC achievements you need for selecting certain characters to be in certain parts of the game count as the missables.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'd like to do with. If anyone has any other suggestions, let me know.
That's the only one I had to go hunting for. Originally, I was going to use the new open road game because they had a lot of missables, but they updated them right when the target came out, so they weren't missable anymore.
Well, you should have tried to submit flag edits and make them missable.
It took me way less time to find 6 games than it would to submit
I know. Okay.
and fight TA.
Mostly kidding.
Fight the man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
With the man. And the other big TA thing is a new community event called the TA Open, which is golf. It is a community event based around golf. And so far, we've had 3 holes of golf. And basically, you get an amount of true achievement difference that you need to go for. And there's a max you can get for each achievement. So there's basically you want to click on your list of available achievements and try to get one as close to that max as possible. Because if you go over, you're going to have to shoot more and get the difference. And basically, you want to go to the par score. And you need to get 5 holes for the community badge, right?
I think the first 5, right?
When you badging
I-
out people.
I think it's any 5.
Is it any 5?
It has to
says
be
you'll have
under
complete
par,
the
right?
first 5 holes at par or under. So yes, I hope so. I don't remember if they said how many we're gonna get total though.
9.
9.
9. Okay, that makes sense.
They come out every other day. And you are right. You need to complete the first 5 holes at a par score or under, which I guess is a bad news bears for some people. Like you could easily miss out on a badge here.
5 of 9, which I think is a Star Wars character. I was just meant to get Prue mad at me. Um, yeah, I see some people complaining about this one because if you get accidental achievements, you can screw yourself pretty easily.
Here's the thing. It's a bit finicky. You have to intentionally start the hole. So if you were to say, okay, I'm ready to do this, let me start the game, and you load up something and it auto pops, yeah, you're going to get screwed. You could also start the game, go right before the achievement, and then start it, wait a minute or two, and then get your achievement. But otherwise, yeah, you can easily get screwed out, but you have to be a bit intentional about this one. It's enough to make it not as fun, if you ask me.
Yeah, you have to pause it,
Only
wait
if you're
you
serious
a
about
minute or
it.
two,
You can pause it,
unpause
yes.
it.
Well, you have to give them credit for trying something, right? To kind of make it so.
Absolutely.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that their attempt to make it so that you don't accidentally pop something you don't want to actually cause people to pop things that they didn't want to. So that part's not great, but or not pop things that they did want to. So they're trying to add these, niceties, kind of, make it easier so that number one, you can play games while still doing the contest and not have the contest dictate what you're allowed to play. As we know, that kind of sucks. But yeah, so that it's kind of unfortunate that didn't happen. Like today, I actually had an issue because I didn't wait long enough after I teed off. I didn't wait a full minute. So then I got my 17 pointer and then I paused it, just to lock it in case something else popped. If I score was wrong or whatever. And then my 17 pointer never counted, and I was just like, okay, well, maybe things are a little slow right now. I'll wait half the day. Came back to it later, still hadn't gone in. I was like, all right, well, okay, let me just unpause it and take a little time. Luckily, my second 17 pointer took a couple minutes, and that was all it took to get that one to count. So that was something I learned today, is that you have to wait after teeing off. Or
Yeah,
unpause it.
I can't appreciate the effort that's gone into it. Like if you go and look at the hub, each hole has its own graphic, and
Very nice.
at first, if at the very first hole, I made a comment like, "Oh, you should be able to, hole in one. Like this is easy because it was only 22 TAD, but the max you could do was 15."
Mhm.
And I see why now. Like it's changing on every hole, and it does actually make it a little bit more interesting. Today, hole 3 was the first time you could do a hole in one. Max, it was 17 TAD, and you had no max. So if you unlocked a 100 TAD achievement, you were negative 83 points. So like there was some strategy today that was not present in other days.
Well,
So
and in that way, like days 1 and 2 were probably set up kind of like an introduction. Like you can't screw yourself by like 300 TAD because the max is
right.
15. So they probably did that as like a little, here's a guardrail to help you kind of rein it in, learn how the system works. And then
Right.
today's
And
like
it
all bets are off.
actually, yeah, and it actually helped me because I think on that first day I loaded up an easy gamer score game, had title updates, and I had auto pops. All the TAD was above the max of 15, so it actually didn't hurt me, didn't count for me, but it didn't hurt me either. So yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, hopefully they'll get a little bit more interesting, but it's a different type of feel, different vibe for this community challenge. And
Yeah.
Mental Knight has said, I've never seen a golf course, and he is right. He's literally right.
Not even mini golf?
I'm a master at mini golf, sir.
A master.
What about rocket powered
master.
cars on a golf course? Have you seen that?
I'm decent at that. Yes.
Are you turbo at it?
Turbo Man. That's what they call me there.
Skeptical Mario's making golf puns in the chat. Wish you were here, everyone. Oh. Well, so far I've only done one hole. and I look forward to doing more holes. Like hole 3 was easy. You could get 17 for a hole in one, and hole 2 involves 69, so that one's my favorite so far. I need to do it. And then I bet you hole 5 is going to be tricky. Let's have a hunch. Is this a Freem hole special? Do you have a
I don't have that
info on
intel.
that, Kush? Oh,
I mean, is this only his idea? No, I don't think
Yeah.
it's only his idea, but I do believe he had
a
significant input.
brainchild.
I didn't ask him that. I didn't ask him how much
You
of
should
his
ask him.
DNA was in this.
In the holes?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'd like to know about that. Okay. We have something in the rumor mill, but it's most likely accurate, and that is that Xbox is reportedly preparing a Call of Duty Game Pass announcement. Does this mean anything to anybody here? Like, which games would that include? I don't know.
The Call of Duty ones.
So all the old ones too? That's what you
Probably.
assume?
Yes, I assume every
The new
single
ones
one.
are all free, aren't they? I don't even
So
know.
the question is, would they do them they just dump them all in one day? Do they push them out a little bit at a
This is what I
time?
see. I see a Game Pass graphic, and it has every Call of Duty on it.
Mhm.
No droppage, like cherry picking. Here you go. Here you go. Here you
No, it
go.
looks like the same game.
I think we get all of it at once. And no L. I don't think any of the newer ones are free. Maybe Warzone,
Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah.
but I think you have to have a Call of Duty to download that. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
I mean, I'm kind of excited because I do like the campaigns in them. Even that police one, I like the campaign.
But they still have campaigns.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you had to pay
campaign.
for them, and like now I don't have to pay for them because
Did Call of Duty do a police one, or are you thinking of Battlefield?
He's thinking of Battlefield.
is it
Okay.
Battlefield?
Yeah,
They're the
Battlefield.
same game.
Oh,
Come
boy.
on.
Battlefield Hardline. I'm
Yeah.
They're
pretty
the
sure.
same game.
That's the one that's like, hey, let's do 1,000 kills in DLC or 100,000.
Luckily,
kills.
I edit, so you'll never know about that. Yeah.
Nobody will know.
That is true. But Call of Duty, I think, has zombies. I mean, that, every war you've ever known, you learn about zombies.
Yeah, World War II zombie chapter in the book.
Yes. Okay. It's now time for Games Showcase. Kush, we will start with you.
Already. I'm going to talk
Will
about
we be
a
having
current-
video today?
Yeah. Why don't we do that? Give me a second.
All right. Anybody who's listening, pop your little eyes in to match your ears, and you're going to see video footage of all the games we talk about.
we talk about. So
Hopefully
I'm
there's
talking
no
about a Game
ads on
Pass game.
time.
It is called Chicory, and I believe
Oh,
this
no,
is
delete
probably
it.
going to leave Game Pass before too
Wait,
long.
what?
Oh no, I gotta play it.
Yes, I believe that this game is going to be leaving Game Pass pretty soon. It's almost at the 12-month mark, so you're going to want to get in there and get on it. Chicory, let's see what does TA say. They say it's about 15 to 20 hours. I've put in 8.5. This game is kind of like a black and white Zelda. So it's very much a Zelda-like, but there's very little combat. The combat is all boss fights, and for the most part, they're all about avoidance. You play a character who becomes the wielder of the magic paintbrush, and your job is to put color into the world and keep interesting colors in the world. You can change things and make things interesting for people. There were several wielders before you, and they just kind of pass it down as they feel they need to. They don't die. it's not a sad story, but they just kind of give up the brush and give it to someone else. So that's how the game kind of starts out. You go to visit the wielder, and you end up getting the brush. So you are now responsible for bringing color back to the world, and you don't really know a whole lot. So your move set is really limited. So you'll be applying colors in like little streaks. You can actually change the size of the brush to the point where it will kind of fill like a little area. You'll be able to get basically like kind of like in Photoshop, you get like the paint bucket tool at one point, and that's great for coloring large sections of the map. And you're going to be using color and the paintbrush to open up ways to get around the map. There are things that will be blocking you. For instance, you won't be able to move past certain trees sometimes because it might just be blocking a path. But you see that there's clearly room between the trees. Well, at some point later on, you get the ability to kind of Splatoon-ish like ability to swim through paint. So if you paint the entire grass field, you can swim through the paint that goes underneath the trees, and you can get through small cracks and excuse me, and things like that. So that's one of the ways that you'll get a movement ability to kind of help you get to areas that were previously locked to you. That color will also play a role in how you find some collectibles. Sometimes there will be these little kittens that are hiding, and you won't know that they're hiding. But if you color a tree, or you color all the trees on a screen, a couple seconds later, one of those trees will suddenly have no color because there's a little kitten hiding in that tree, and they kind of shook the paint off. So if you just quickly paint that tree several times, kitten flies out, you collect the kitten, and that's one of your collectibles. This game has a lot of collectibles. So you'll be getting achievements for getting all those different types. The hidden cats. There will be things that you can use to decorate your home, things that you can use to decorate other places, and outfits too. You'll have hats and I guess like costumes, so like shirt or whatever. Basically just two pieces. So you don't have like a really large ensemble. But the game is very cute, and it's very kind of kid friendly. It's very PC, and it wears the PC on its sleeve. And for some people, I know that's a problem. So you may kind of be annoyed by that. But
Palette
but
cleansing.
but it's an indie game, and they tend to be a little bit more like that. But I thoroughly enjoy the game. Thoroughly enjoy the ability to just the way that they gate the progress through the maps. Like, oh, this is so much Zelda, right? Like, I can see that ledge. I'm gonna get to that ledge at some point. And then you eventually get the ability that lets you to get there. Let's see. There is one thing to watch out for in this game. There's one missable that unfortunately will cause you to have to do a whole nother playthrough if you don't catch it in time. So there's going to be a point in the story when you get a certain number of collectibles, and those things will be decorations in this case, like rugs, couches, chairs, lights, things like that. You're going to hit a certain number. For me, it was around 80 or 90. And at that point in the story, your mom is going to call you. And at that point in time, she's going to say, hey, come back to your house. I'm going to come visit you. I want to see, how you've decorated your house. You then have to go back to your house, put a couple decorations on the wall. Don't go crazy. Just one or two. Leave the house, leave the screen that your house is in, go back in. She will give you a family portrait. And that is one of the collectibles. That's the only way you get the family portrait. If you somehow miss that, you somehow miss her visit, you're going to have to do a second playthrough and get that in order to get all of the collectibles. Luckily, I thought maybe I had passed that point. But as I was playing further on, I got the call. Actually, it literally was like 2 minutes after I had decided that I was just going to start a new game, but I wanted to finish this conversation I was having. And then boom, my mom called. I ran back. I was like, okay, that's so good that I don't have to spend another 6 hours or whatever getting to this point. But yeah, like I said, this game is probably me leaving soon. I'm having a really good time with it. And I think if you're into Zeldas, this is a fantastic Zelda. Not very much combat. It's only going to be those boss fights that you have the combat. So it's not going to be a difficult skill-based thing that's going to be preventing you from doing it. It's just going to be having the time to get to this game. You guys have any questions about Chicory?
Looks pretty basic.
Yeah.
Am I seeing
so
that
you say
like
it's
go ahead.
like you said it's Zelda E, but it doesn't
Mhm.
have combat. So what makes it Zelda E? The
What makes it
puzzles or
Zelda,
just
number one,
the
it's
way
the
the
way
screen to screen thing?
it's the
Yeah,
look, it's the transition from screen to
right,
screen. It's
right.
the, I
I see
see
that.
boulders. How am I going to get past the boulders? Well, I don't have a skill that allows me to destroy boulders yet, nor do I see a way to get to the boulder. So yeah, so you'll be getting those things. You'll be leveling up the brush, and your affinity to the brush gives you the ability to do things like jump, uh, and swim, and climb through paint. Basically,
Hook shot.
there's no hook shot yet. I don't think there's going to be one in this
Oh,
game.
oh, Neo might be onto something. Here's a question
It's
for
that
you.
there's no double jump, Neo.
Oh,
Vayner Light.
It's very much
So,
as you're playing it. If you've ever played a Zelda, an older Zelda, you will definitely get that sense.
so am I seeing that like different colors do different things with the trees and stuff like that? Is that
No, they
or
actually
is
don't.
no?
It's
Okay.
it's a little more simple than that. It's the presence of paint or no presence of paint.
Okay.
So like some trees will basically they'll grow when there's no paint on them, and they'll shrink when there is paint. Then other there's these other plants that will have multiple leaves on them, for instance, and you
Mhm.
can influence the way that they grow. It goes down a unit, goes over a unit, then I can jump onto it, and then I can reset it, and then that moves me in the level or in the screen to a different position, which I can then now move it to the left one and then up one. That helps you to navigate that puzzle. So all kinds of interesting ways to interact with the screens that you're on using Paint to kind of figure out these puzzles. And it's one of those things where you get the enjoyment of, I know I can do this. I mean, I know I'm supposed to be able to do this. How do I actually do it? Using the tools that I have. And in some cases, it gets a tiny bit tricky in that you have to maybe reset a tree. So let's say there's like 3 different trees and 2 of them bounce you. And then what you need to do is activate one tree or activate 2 trees. Step on one, it'll bounce you. And as it does that, it deactivates. You then have to arm it again. You're all while you're in the air. You'll hit the second tree, bounce back to that first tree, which you've now reactivated, and then bounce in a different direction. And so every now and then there's a tiny bit of difficulty that comes with that. Or maybe that's just how I decided to do it or how I figured out how to do it. And there's actually a much more simple, clear, straightforward way to do it. But that's how I found to solve some of these puzzles. They weren't super convoluted. So I'm pretty sure that was intentional. That was the intention was, oh, you have to reset this one thing while you're kind of also moving around in the air. But it shouldn't be a big, like I said, it's not a huge skill challenge. It's a cute little game. And it's just it's interesting to have color be the mechanic that you use to interact with the world.
So I see that, like on the screen, there's you found a kitten. Is there is there a collectible guide or is there any notification that this tree out of all the trees has a kitty in it? Anything like that?
Yeah, so it's really hard at the beginning. Before you start getting like the ability to have like that paint tool, for instance.
Jeez.
The paint is fantastic because you click on the grass and it'll just cover 80% of the screen. Or if you click on the trees, it'll do like most of the trees. And if there is a cat hiding behind a bush or a tree or something, it will shake the paint off of that tree. So one thing you can do
Okay.
is you just like rub the brush across every tree. If you don't have the paint bucket, for instance, you can just touch every tree with color, wait a second or two, and if only one tree doesn't have paint on it when you're done, that's the tree with the kid, and you just like hit it like 3 or 4 times with your brush. The kid will pop out, and you grab them.
You get locked out of any
Oh.
area, or can you just go?
No, in fact, I think you can actually. There might be a reset, or maybe I'm thinking Little Gator Game. Little Gator Game has a reset position. I don't know that this game does, but yeah, you don't really get locked out of things. The only way you'd get locked into an area is probably forgetting, leaving the game for a month, coming back and forgetting how to actually navigate and use the game. If you're on the live stream right now, you're actually seeing a boss fight.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, it's mostly about, like I said, it's mostly about avoidance and just painting, certain areas on the screen, which represent like an eyeball or is just a weak point on the boss. Then you just keep moving away. If you do take damage, boss fights are really easy. If you take 2 or 3 hits, you'll go back to a checkpoint in the fight. You won't go back to the very beginning of the fight. You go back to a checkpoint in that fight. So as long as you're able to do like 2 or 3 hits of damage before you get knocked out like 2 times, you're going to slowly work your way through the fight. You're going to get through it. It's really not designed to be a challenging game or a test of skill.
This reminds me of the Zelda DS game with the stylus.
So forgive me if you mentioned it. Are you playing it on console?
I am playing this on the console. Actually, I'm doing both. When I was at the beach, because I totally went to the beach and was near a beach, I played on my Surface. I played Chicory on my Surface. When I got home, I played it on my console. I had no issues, switching to my save. In fact, I think I actually played it console first, then Surface at the beach, and then back to console. So it worked really well. There might have been some cloud in there too.
Yeah, I think the bigger issue would be switching between your controller or a mouse. I played this on PC. I couldn't imagine how this is with a controller. It seems like it's too much.
No, it's
at least in a boss battle.
Well, see, here's the thing, and I may have mentioned this before. I don't use a mouse. I use trackball. So for me, using a mouse is really difficult. It's really hard to use that trackball and make things move quickly and accurately. It's much easier to do that with a mouse. So for me, even when I'm playing on PC, for the most part, unless it's like a console command type game, I'm going to be using a controller.
Yeah.
So what's up with the achievements? Because I only have a couple friends who have completed this game, and a lot of people just seem to have started it and stopped it.
So,
but it doesn't.
When I first started the game, I guess I didn't get it. Right? Or I didn't play it long enough to get it, to actually be like, oh, okay, I'm kind of, now I'm having fun solving these puzzles. Because when you first start out, you don't have a big repertoire of moves or abilities, and maybe you haven't quite figured out how the game works. Like how, this is how I interact with this type of plant, and this allows me to get around here. And maybe you're having a little bit of difficulty because it's in black and white. And it's kind of hard to see the different levels, like, this is up a tier, but I can actually get up here, but it's just like up a little tier. Maybe that was my problem going in. When I came back to this game for the second time to actually put like another half hour or hour into it, I was like, why did I stop playing this? Like, this is really fun. It's really colorful. It's the type of thing that I like. And when I go to the beach or when I go on vacation and I only have access to a few games, there are way less shiny things to distract me. So I can focus on, 2 or 3 games because that's all I can take with me. The Surface has a very small hard drive and the internet is not great. So I'm able to focus on a couple games, and knowing that this was going to leave Game Pass soon, that really helped me to kind of, put more time into this and be like, you know what? Number one, I'm going to finish this. Number two, I'm enjoying this. So. So it's a strong recommend for me. Like, if you like Zelda games, and you don't necessarily need it to be like a true test of skill, this is not a bad way to get a Game Pass completion.
I guess I have to ask in Fufu's honor and for Jameson if you would pay $20 for this game.
Would I pay $20 for this game? Probably not. But I mean, if it was 40, I'd say, oh no, definitely not. $20, maybe. If it was on sale, I would say 10 for sure. I think 10's fair. I think 15 is kind of probably what my upper limit would have been for a game like this.
Lowest it's been has been 14.
So it looks like it released May 30th, 23. Day one into Game Pass, right?
Yep, I believe so.
So we're thinking June, whatever, first week of June.
I'm thinking something like that. It's really coming up soon. So I mean, if you wanted to do this, you should probably get started on it soon. Yeah. Now, this had been out on PC, and that's how I knew to be kind of excited for it, because I'd heard people talking about how great of a game it was on Steam or PC or however they were playing it. So I was really looking forward to this one. And I think when I first started playing it, I didn't get it right away. But once I said, go back in for that second sit down, that's when I really was like, oh, okay, now I get it now, and I'm ready to try to finish this.
Very cool.
Yeah, there you go.
Alrighty, that was Chicory, A Colorful Tale. And up next is Wild West.
All right. So, just a quick update on what I've talked about recently, and then Neo talked last week. I finished the story for Immortals, finished the first DLC. I'm working my way through the second DLC. But as Elle mentioned, I was looking for a target game that was going to be a 4-star game and also had some missables in it. And someone in the TA community page for that specific target recommended Pentiment, which is something that I kind of thought about when it came out. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll get to it someday, be on Game Pass, most likely for a long time. So I'll get to it eventually. But being it as I kind of looked into it, and it's a game that you can kind of pick up and start and play as often or as little as you want, I thought it'd be a good one to go into. So I'm going to be talking about Pentiment today. This is a game that was released by Obsidian on November 15th, 2022. It's an adventure game. It is rated pretty well on TA. It's at 4.2. And it's as we'll see here on the video, it's a hand-drawn game. You take the role of a illustrator named Andreas, and you work on so you work as an illustrator in the Abbey. It's in the, I believe, the 1600s or 1518. So 1518, you're in this little town. You're working as an illustrator. You don't work in the Abbey or with the church. You're just kind of freelancing there as you're learning. And the first act, I just finished the first act, and it kind of starts a little slow as you just kind of start going through your daily life. And then it picks up at the end of the first act as someone gets murdered in the Abbey, and you set off to solve it and to prove one of your monks that another fellow illustrator is not guilty of that act. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. As you see on the video, you can kind of go around the town and talk to different people. You'll kind of have some branching dialogue. As you talk to different people, and they'll ask you questions about your past or what you are fluent in, or the skills you have the option to change any of those skills. Usually, I don't know if we'll see it in the video, but when an option comes up, it will give you like 4 choices. For example, someone asked me where I had been at for some of these years, and you had a choice where you could say I was in Italy, I was in France, I was in Belgium, whatever the choices were. So you can choose whatever choice you want, and that'll influence the dialogue that you have with that person, and it'll also possibly influence future dialogue as well. One of the other choices that I was able to make was Andreas was at the university before he became an illustrator and artist. And you could talk about and have a little bit of an insight into another job. I chose for myself that he started out trying to be like a lawyer and then decided he didn't want to do that anymore. So as I was going through options when I was trying to figure out the murder and who possibly could have done it, options that came out with the law symbol came on there, so I could kind of influence how the direction went. So this is, as y'all know, I'm a completionist. This is a 20 to 25 hour completion, according to TA. I think I put about so far 6 to 8 hours in to get through Act 1. I just started Act 2 today. You have the option when you start the game to either have the dialogue read in Old English text or in modern text. So as you see on the screen right now, that's the old English text. If you can't read cursive, I would recommend doing the modern text. It's a lot easier to read. It's just kind of like a typical one, typical Microsoft Word text that you have. But I would kind of, classify it as one of those kind of choose your adventure games because you get to kind of influence how the conversation goes and the different choices you have. I've enjoyed it so far. And so, as I mentioned previously, there are a lot of missables in the game. As I was doing some research on this, it seems like you're going to have to do a minimum of 1.5 playthroughs to get all the achievements in the game because of the missables. So if you want to follow a walkthrough, there is a walkthrough on TA. I am kind of glancing at it, but not following it, word for word, just to kind of hit the missable target. I finished that, I think, yesterday. But I just kind of wanted to do a fun walkthrough first and kind of see the game because I am enjoying it so far. It does have achievement tracking on some of the items. I know Kush will like this. You do have to pet some animals to get an achievement, and most of them are dogs. And every time you pet an animal, I think you have to do 5 of them. So you'll get 20% added each time, and then it'll pop on that. You also have to look at a certain amount of flowers in the game. I think there's 10 of them, and so it'll go up 10% each time. So no issues with tracking at all on that. But it does not have a manual save in the game. Every time, as you've kind of been seeing them going through the different areas, every time you change area, it'll kind of like flip a page like it's in a book, and then you'll get an auto save. So if you ever need to save the game, just make sure to change scenes and save it, or else, because I got to the end of Act 1 today, and then I was going to Act 2, but I was going through a dialogue, and I hit what I thought would be, I started the next act, and I was like, okay, it's saved, pulled my game back up, but because I didn't change screens, I had to finish Act 1 again and go to Act 2, which was only about 20 minutes. It wasn't that long, but still, just as a cautionary tale there. But I think it's really fun. This was a different genre for Obsidian. We kind of know them as their big RPG games, and they'll have another one out later this year that I'm looking forward to. But this was a nice little side project, I think, that they had just a few members of their staff doing, and I really liked it.
Quick question: do you get the sense that your first playthrough? I know you said that like you have to follow a guide. You're gonna have to do 1.5 playthroughs. Do you get the sense that your first playthrough can be blind, and
Yes.
your second half, or maybe even if you have to do a second, will you be able to just get the other stuff without having to be super paying attention to what you chose the first time?
So there is like no auto text or anything. You do have to hit the A button. And from what I've seen in the walkthrough, he tells you the choices to make to help lead you to the missable achievements. So as
Okay.
far as that, you could really just kind of say like, what's on the screen? Okay, boom, hit that, move on. The only accessibility option they have is that you can have it where when you talk to someone, the whole text comes on the screen instead of having it like in a writing thing that I've seen just on the videos. So that's what I did because I like to read the stuff and then move on instead of having it wait for the whole sentence to pop up and then clicking A to move on. So, but yeah, I don't think you really on the second playthrough you really could just kind of hit the choice and move on and not really pay attention and just kind of move around as you're seeing him move. You're controlling him right now. He's not going automatically to a different area. So,
But as far as the conversations go, like I'm trying to think of a game specifically, but you can kind of take like, oh, I'm going to be the jerk this time, because that's just I like to play the game as a jerk the first time I play through,
yeah.
and then the second time I like to play as a nice guy. Are you going to be locked into that, or can you kind of be like neutral and just do what you feel in the moment, or are you going to have to stick to like a good or bad kind of track?
So I
Which would
haven't
mean
looked
like
that
two
far
out.
because I wanted to kind of keep my achievements. I wanted to see
Okay.
it kind of fresh, but you can make those snarky comments. I was kind of being a dick to the church leader here in this first playthrough, and so I would make a lot of snarky comments. And there actually was an achievement for it at the end of Act 1. It said you finish Act 1 as as the church leader was mad at you, and so. So far, I mean, we'll see later on. And I think there's 3 acts in the game from what I've seen. So I'll still have 2 more to go. I'll see if it plays any payoff later on for that. But yeah, you can be nice. You can there is kind of like basically a 3 option. You can be nice, neutral, or you can be mean to someone if you want to.
Okay.
The game, I think I'm confusing it with the Procession of Calvary, which was a very funny
Yeah,
game. This
it looks
one
just
seems
like that.
this
Or
one seems
Illuminati.
more serious. Is that true?
It is more serious. I did play Procession, and that one was definitely more on the sarcastic and did the parody type stuff. I would say this one does have some humor in it if you are following along with what they're saying to each other, but it's not on the same level as Procession.
Okay.
But there is some sarcasm in there. There is some language and jokes and stuff like that. They do make some stuff that is kind of jokes about the church and different things like that, but not on the level of Procession though. Yeah, I haven't done the Incluminati yet, so that was another one I was kind of looking at in the future. I think the thing that you're seeing on the video is like the kind of the colors filling in. I think that's how, if you don't have the accessibility option to have the whole sentence come up, I think that's how that kind of plays out. I don't have that. I just have it so the sentence, like when you're going through each sentence, it just pops up right away, and so you can kind of move through it a little bit faster.
Gotcha.
Worth a
Okay.
check out. I mean, 20-hour game, not too bad. If you need missables or just, you can go in and out of playthroughs really quick. So, I mean, if you just want to play for 20 minutes a day and get an achievement, it's definitely worth. This game will be that for you.
All right. And this is another game that's on PC Game Pass, and that is retails for $20.
Safe to say this one will be on Game Pass infinitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's Xbox published.
By
Well, and
Obsidian.
Obsidian. That too. All right. Thank you for your sentiments about Pentiment. Great joke, Elliot. All right. It's my turn. Believe it or not, Corey, I'm not going to talk about a baby game this week.
Oh, I beg to differ.
I'm going to talk about,
Toddler game.
well, I'm going to talk about a tweener game. A tween. Well, the game is called Reverse Crawl, and I guess babies crawl, so you got me there. But this is a game by Digerati. Came out in 2019, and it says on TA that it's a turn-based RPG, but it's not like the old Final Fantasy games. It's more of a strategy game where you're on a bunch of squares and you move around the squares. Earliest example I remember is like Shining Force. What do you call that? Like a tactical RPG? Is that the right terminology?
Never played it. No idea.
No. So the reason it's called Reverse Crawl is the advertising says that you are the dungeon and you control the monsters. So basically, as you play, you recruit monsters. And as you can see on the screen, if you're watching, you can choose between the zombies, the skeletons, and those will be on your team. And in true RPG fashion, you have weaknesses and strengths, and it tells you weak versus cleric, good versus small groups. And if you don't like your choices, you can re-roll them. So usually I don't play these type of strategy RPGs, but I wound up really liking this game. So as you play, you unlock new characters. There's 24 chapters, and after each chapter, you can choose there's a little bit of RNG, so you'll get a couple of choices to go to the next chapter. And unfortunately for the achievements, you're going to have to do some multiple playthroughs as well. Um, for example, there's the Red Dragon, the Horn Demon, and one other one. And basically, there's 3 choices that are all in chapter 14 or so. So you have to play through again and get to that level, that point of the game again. That's the only unfortunate part. I don't think there's a chapter select. The good news is that the game is very short. There's 24 chapters, but each fight takes maybe 5-10 minutes. If you win or lose, you get experience, and you use that experience to upgrade your powers. But even if you lose, you still can upgrade your powers. So that's unusual in RPGs. So that's kind of roguelite-y. So even if you lose, you eventually can just keep getting better
Does the
and power
XP
through.
stack? Like you don't have to spend it right away.
No, you don't have to spend it. So you basically get points.
So what I'm
And there's
hearing
an
is
upgrade.
you
There's an
could
upgrade screen.
just run failures over and over and over and get a bunch of free XP.
You know, I never thought of it that way. I have not lost on purpose. Usually, if I lose, I eventually win on my 3rd or 4th try. And as you can see, also there's other RPG tropes, like there's magic missile that you can cast. And on the screen, you see like old school RPG things, like it says zombie ponders the next move, zombie deals 134 damage. So I think that's more just to be old school, but you don't really read that stuff. You just click A and you see how much damage you deal right there, like traditional. Anyone play this game before? I don't think so.
Can't say
I
that
know
I
you're a
have, but
Digirati
it
fan,
does have
Boosh.
some missables. A lot of them.
I like Digirati, but no, I have not played this one yet.
You
They're not
know,
quite missables. That's like it's more that you pick one and not the other, like I was saying. So there's the good ending, there's the evil ending, and then there's the easiest choice and the cruelest choice. So they're not really missable. You're picking one, and then your next playthrough, you're going to pick the other one. So,
right. But for the target, they're missable.
um,
The flags on TA, almost
which
every
ones?
one is missable.
There's 8 missables. So that's not bad.
You know, I've seen the game tile a lot. Like you said, this is an older game. I always thought this was a play on the Reversi board game, so I've never looked into it.
Really?
Yes. But now I'm somewhat interested seeing the video and
Yeah,
hearing
it's
about
not
it.
difficult. TA has this at 6 to 8 hours. If you know what you're doing, it's probably that. I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, why these? Yeah, like I said, they're not really missables. You're just going to play, and I think there's a little RNG to get certain things to appear. But basically, you're going to keep track of what you pick, and then you'll get those achievements, and then you'll pick the other ones on a subsequent playthrough. And I think there is a new game plus as well. I'm almost done with the campaign. I'll have to report back. But yeah, it came out in 2019, so it's not that old, but old enough, I guess. It retails for $12.99, but it's been on sale as low as $3. And what's funny, I happened to look this game up on Steam, and their retail price is $5.99, and it's on sale right now for 89 cents. So I guess we pay an achievement tax. We get it for a few bucks more. But this game
Yeah, I was just
frequently goes on
looking.
sale. Yeah.
Does it? Because I was looking and it's
No,
not tracked as going on
used
sale, at
to.
least in the past like 9 months.
Oh, wow, it used to. Yeah, you're right. 2021. I remember it's part of many bundles as well. So maybe those will go on sale, hopefully. I'm gonna email Digirati and tell him to put them on sale for you.
Okay.
It's for you, buddy.
Thanks.
Yeah, for $13. I mean, seeing that it hasn't gone on sale in a few years, it's probably worth it if you're into RPGs. If you wait for a sale and it does go on sale, then I would definitely grab it. Any more questions? Which is like I turn that video off no more.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So
Mental
what's like the end game that you're
control.
you're working towards?
Defeating the Red King? What do you mean? Like what?
Like
What's the
what's your gameplay? Like you said, you're making or doing monsters and stuff like that. Like are you trying to like take over something or take over a
You just
castle or
Oh, were you watching the video? So
yeah?
basically, you go to the monster and you hit them, and if you have a ranged archer, then you can hit them from across the board.
He's asking like, what is
Like
the end goal
story,
of the game?
like what's the story
The
and
story?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're going after the baddie boss.
okay.
Says every video game ever.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
the you're the Revenant King, and I think it was the red. Oh, I forgot now.
All right. Sorry, I asked.
You want me to pay attention to the story now?
I guess I thought I was trying to get you to sell me
You're
on
ridiculous.
it.
You don't play a baby game. We ask you about the game. And
There is a story, I just don't remember it.
No, that's
Unfortunately,
good.
it's one that I pick up and go back to for contests and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna try to beat the story for you.
All right.
I'm gonna get the evil ending for you.
Maybe if we all put it
I'll
on
sell
Price
you on
Track,
it.
we'll get a sale. We'll get a sale on it here.
Yeah. Put it on Price Track.
I did. Just for you.
Good. Dungeon Crawler. Which, of course, it's called Reverse Crawl, and Dungeon Crawler is not one of the genres. But I actually agree with that. It's not really Dungeon Crawler.
it's a reverse crawler.
Yes, it's a reverse crawler. You are the dungeon. That's what it says. All right, that was Reverse Crawl. And there's a crawl on the bottom of the screen that says to go to Rocker Dude.
All right. So, I like to play new games for you guys. And I played a super brand new game called Botany Manor. This is brand new to Game Pass. So you pretty much have
great.
it, every single listener here. And we're just going to talk about it super quick. It is a first person puzzle game set in an English Victorian manor in like the 1800s. And you are going through this manor and you're growing plants. Now, that doesn't sound exciting, but this game is really fun and it makes you feel super smart when you get stuff right. Just to set the stage, we came and we found out that this game is a stack. So is on PC Game Pass and it's on regular Game Pass, and you can get two different versions of it. I've already completed both. So this tells you a couple of things. One, it's probably easy. Two, it's quick. I played this game naturally the first time on PC, and I beat it earlier today. And then I said, you know what? It's time. Let me just do the console version. All the puzzles are fresh. And I speed ran that in like TA says under 2 hours. It's probably under 3 hours. But once you know what you're doing, obviously it's just a walk in the park. So what the game is, it's kind of like what I think like Myst and what's this other game? Starts with a W. I just had it all day long. The Witness. I think it's like that. I haven't played those games, but it reminds me of what those games might be. And so, like I said, you're filling out this book of plants, and to fill it out, you have to grow the plants. What you don't know is how to grow them. You have to gather clues scattered around the environment and read them in order to connect the dots to figure out what you need to do. So to break it down, the very first one, I'm not going to give you the exact answer, but it's this most simple intro puzzle. You see three different things across the room that they have dots on them, so you know that you can interact with them. You read them and they get added to your clue index. And when you open up your book, you'll have the flower there, and you'll see that it contains three possible clues. And you can assign those clues to this plant. And once you assign once you fill up all the clue slots and they match that plant, they will lock in. So you know that you don't need to use them for other entries in the book. And if you need to refer back to them, you know which ones to do in order to finish that entry of the book. Now, in the first one, you're going to see a postcard, a chart with flowers on it, and a temperature gauge. And you need to pick the pieces of those clues to figure out where this plant originates from, what type of flower it is, and then combine that on the matrix of the temperature gauge to figure out what exact temperature this plant grows in. And then once you get your pot and your soil and your seed, you have to go and find the heater and heat it up to that degrees, and then it grows. I'm not going to tell you any more puzzles because that would be doing a disservice to yourself for this game. I don't know. There's just something about it that made me feel it was really relaxing. And again, it made me feel super smart until it didn't, which happened, rather quickly. But as you go through the game, you go through chapters. Each chapter has, besides the introduction, 2 to 4, I think, plants that you have to figure out. So you're gathering a lot more clues, and you're having to decipher which ones go to which plant. And as you're going through this manner, you're blocked obviously by certain places. So the chapters kind of they kind of hinder your progress. So you do have to go in order. On my second playthrough, I found a door that had a lock on it. I already knew the combination to the lock, and I was like, can I sequence break and go in there? The game's smart enough to say, no, you can't do that yet. It doesn't work. So you do have to go in order, but you are unlocking the different parts of this like mansion and the grounds around it in order to find all of this stuff. So being first person, kind of a walking sim type feel to it. What I can say to you is you'll want to look at every single thing that you can interact with, pick it up. Some things are just, they're there for flavor. Look at everything. You'll get some random achievements from it. And sometimes they'll provide some lore. But most of the time they're going to be clues to these flowers. What else? My only pet peeve with the game is that these clues that you pick up, and I said that you can assign them to a flower. That's really nice because they say this is the clue, like the title of the clue and where you found it, but you cannot read that clue once you found it, which I think was that's the only thing that I hate. So if you want to read it again, you can. You just have to go and find it. And when I was really trying to put the pieces together, I ended up just like taking screenshots on my phone saying, okay, I know I'm going to need this chart and I'm going to need this chart here, and I'm going to have to cross-reference them. Let me just do that myself. It would have been really nice if I could have just did that in the book where I've already gathered them, but it is what it is. As far as achievements, it's sure. As far as achievements go, you're going to get the vast majority just by doing the game. And if you pick up everything, you're going to get all of that. Then there's going to be a few random achievements. The good thing is once you beat the game, you can load back into it, and you're at the point of basically when you roll the credits. So you can go back in and do anything. Nothing is missable in that regard. And what I found out today, I didn't actually look close enough, but the console version has 6 additional achievements that the PC version doesn't. And they're all miscellaneous stuff. So interesting bit of info there, but Botany Manor just came out, Game Pass, couple hours. Well, I will say my initial playthrough took me over 6, and it probably would have took me more. I played it as fresh as I could and as blind as I could, but there were some puzzles that just stumped me. So what I did is I found a guide that somebody had made, and I scrolled just enough to see the next hint, and it would get me by. And I did that like once, maybe twice. The only time, and it was a moment of weakness. It was late at night last night, and something was not clicking about this certain plant. I had all the clues, I just couldn't figure out how to put them together. So I ended up seeing a list, and my eyes stood there too long, and I saw the answer, and I just did it. And then I felt terrible. I felt dirty afterwards. I just hated it. So if you can, there are guides out there. You could run this game in a few hours, and you could do it twice for the stacks. But I would encourage you to play this game as blindly as you can and just enjoy it. It looks beautiful. It's not realistic, but it's kind of cartoony, realistic graphics, and I really enjoyed Botany Manor. So you should play it, L. It is not a good RTDL game. You do not want to leave this and come back. There's not a lot of direction. You just need to play it and just stick it out.
Yeah, it's really great. I also played it.
Wow.
Something jumps into Game Pass, I play it right away. And yeah, if you hadn't talked about it, I would.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't look at anything beforehand, so it was a pleasant surprise.
Well, it fooled me.
In what
I
way?
figured it was like I don't know. I figured it was like a flower growing simulator, but like a boring one, not a puzzle game. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it's not a simulation at all. So that's good. That's a good thing.
I realize now we need a game about stately Wayne Manor or something like that, or something like that, like Batman, like at home, Bruce Wayne at home.
Sure.
Okay.
What? It'll be fun. I think that's good. Thank you, Jameson. At least I knew what I was talking about.
I'm just imagining Bruce Wayne like, oh, I took the Joker to Arkham Asylum. I water my plants now.
Oh, they
Like-
combine the two? That's a great idea.
You call it Batman Manor. Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned there's like chapters. Is there like a chapter select thing, or is it just you can't progress until
Yeah, the chapters really just contain you in like a certain part of the mansion. That's where the clues to this next set of plants are going to be. So there's no like picking like your starting point. You can go back through, and you will have to go back through the mansion to get to other places that were previously blocked off. And in kind of Metroidvania fashion, there are doors that only unlock from the other side. So you have to get there, and then you basically create your own shortcut at that point. So yeah, you learn that map really well by the end. And it's not too big, not too small. And best of all, Koosh, if you haven't found it yet, there is a sprint button.
There's a sprint button, and there's an accessibility menu that allows you to turn into a toggle. Same thing with the view button.
Oh, that's good. So
zoom.
another interesting tidbit is, so played it on PC. It's exactly what you would expect. I picked it up on console, and the controller felt super slow. I could not get used to it. And so I plugged up a mouse into the console, and it works. So you can use keyboard and mouse there. But yeah, I can just move so much faster that way. So if you're having a slow controller problem, you might want to look into that.
Wow. I'm just waiting for L. Apparently there's no pill for that.
Hey, if you got it, you can go for it, Koosh. At any time. Hey, Corey,
AL.
there's a pill for that.
Oh, thank you. I'll prescribe to that.
It's like when you get the like flowers and then you have to give it the plant food, and yeah, it looks like a pill sometimes. Like Dr. Mario. So speaking of new Game Pass games that Koosh and Rocker have played, my son told me to download this game. You know what it's going to be, right? Good. Little Gator game? What's this all about?
It's Lil Gator game.
Yeah, Lil. Like I said, Lil. Oh, it's about a girl
Lil.
named Lil? Oh,
That's just his New York accent coming through.
Lil. Little.
That
Oh,
Lil
I see
Gator
it.
game is one of my top games of last year.
Yep, I remember
Out.
that.
It's a good one.
Oh, so you played it before? I could have sworn I saw you playing it recently. Maybe that was Koosh.
I just played it today, and you could
Okay.
say that my account finished it today too.
Okay, I will say that. I will say that your wife played it. Yeah.
It's a
So
super
it's a baby game, huh?
wholesome. I would not say it's a baby game.
No,
Not in
it's
the
not.
terms of achievements. It is a wholesome, relaxing game, a la a short hike
Yeah.
in that category.
Oh,
Imagine a short
that-
hike with a camera that you could control.
Oh. And good graphics?
And a bunch of gators.
Sure.
And cute graphics.
Yeah.
Yeah, short
Maybe
hike.
we'll talk about it at some point
pixely.
next week.
Oh. To quote you in the chat, don't threaten me with a good time. I'm ready. All right, that was the games showcase. And if you didn't hear, Corey talked about Botany Manor.
It's a stack.
Pancakes are my favorite.
It is a stack. And now it is time for sales. Koosh, what tabs you got open?
All right. This morning I woke up and saw Cronus's post about Shotgun King, the final checkmate. I was going to talk about this game just because of the name. I just like the name. Now, I don't really like the game. It is a chess-based roguelite strategy game. It's got 83 achievements. So that's all stuff I like, but it just looks a little weird for me. The cool thing to keep your eye open for, that's $10 down from $12.50 if you're actually interested in that game, is that this same developer has a game called Super Fetch Dog on Steam for $6. And it sounds amazing. It's a game of fetch where you play the dog. It's platformer set in a lush forest that keeps getting more dangerous as your little master throws a mysterious orb into it again and again. But the orb's too important. You'll need to retrieve it for your little master before time runs out. Game looks awesome. Now, Shotgun King came out for the Xbox about a year and a couple months after it came out for Steam. So I'm hoping that we'll also see Super Fetch Dog. So that's just kind of keep your eye out for it in the future. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about it. Next up, we have Blacktail, $12 down from $30. It's an action adventure, 30 to 35 hour game. You play as the Baba Yaga, and it is a first person archery and spell casting game. So that's going to be most of your combat is done with either a bow and arrow or you're casting spells. Pretty cool looking game. I wanted to check it out when it first came out, but it was too expensive. But 12 down from 30, I may pick it up and play it in a year or two. So next up, we have Have a Nice Death. It's $16.74 down from 25. This is a platformer roguelite. It's got 4.24 stars from a total of 15 votes. But the game looks fantastic. This is the lowest price ever. I really like it. It's not colorful. It's dark. It's very dark and kind of gloomy, but it's beautiful. So check that out. And yeah, it's $16, but the game looks really cool. I'm hoping it's worth it because I'm going to pick it up. And next up, and lastly, the Recharged game series. These games are like, they're old kind of arcade games, but they've got this recharged aspects to them. So games like Asteroids, Black Widow, Breakout, Caverns of Mars, Gravatar, Missile Command, and Yars. They all are $5 down from 10 each. These games are the games you remember, but they've kind of been up resed, and they've got modern niceties to them. And they also have added new modes. They've new power ups. They're just well done. I played the Missile Command. I was really missing Missile Command, and when I saw Missile Command Breakout, or I'm sorry, Missile Command Recharged, I had to get it. Very happy with that game. Haven't completed it, but that's how it goes. I'm looking at collecting these other ones, and since they're 5 down from 10, I might have to jump in on some of them. I was really hoping for a collection to get them all for a really great price. Then there's 2 games, Berserk and Quantum, which are $8 and $7 each. So they're not quite that $5 price point. But if you like those old games and you want to play with them with a new spin, check these out. See if one of them's for you.
Okay. I have been playing another game that's on sale called Adam's Venture Origins. It is a puzzle adventure game. It is normally $15. It is on sale for $3. And it is relatively short in the 4 to 5 hour range. If you're looking for some easy gamer score games, there's my favorite game about an octopus, Takotan, which is East Asia Soft. It is $2.09, normally $7. And right now it's at 4,000 gamer score. It's only a matter of time before it gets up to 5,000. Classic game, classic. Wild West.
All right. The first one I've got up is the Prototype Biohazard Bundle. It's $14.99, down from $49.99. Got an open world hack and slash game there. I think the TA playlist for the month is playing one of the Tomb Raider games. And if you are interested in joining that, they have the Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor Trilogy. It's all 3 of the new Tomb Raider games along with the DLC. And it is $17.49, down from $49.99. And those are, in my opinion, very good games. So I would highly recommend checking that out. You have the Blizzard Arcade Collection if you want a collection or some replay some older games. $9.99, down from $19.99. 6 to 8 hour completion, rated 4-star on TA. So got some good games there. A new one I found from the spring collection is the Fresh Start. Kind of look like a Power Wash Simulator S game. 8 to 10 hours, 3.88 rating. So kind of like a kid's version of it from what I saw on some videos. So if you like Power Wash and you want some more of that, check that out. And the last one I have is Murder Mystery Machine. $3.99, down from $9.99. It is a point and click game, adventure game. It looks interesting, so I'll probably check that out too.
Thanks for asking. I want to shout out KO the Kangaroo. KAO the Kangaroo. It is $9, normally $30. It does have paid DLC, but it's only like $8 full price on the DLC. But this game is kind of gives some Spyro the Dragon, Crash Bandicoot, like the 3D Crash Bandicoot vibes. It is really fun. That little bit I've played of it, and this is the lowest price that it's ever been for the base game. So $9 is a good deal for KO the Kangaroo. The other one I want to mention now is Urban Trial Tricky Deluxe Edition. Now, this is only $3. Normally it's $20, and I think that's why the number of players is only 319. This was criminally low, in my opinion. When I just looked, I was kind of shocked. You should definitely look into Urban Trial Tricky Deluxe Edition if you like Tony Hawk mashup with Trials games, because that's what this is. It has the Trials like physics and maneuverability. It's 2D, but think about if you had a level that you could go left or right in, and you had to get certain combos, you had to collect things in 2 minutes, and you had to get high scores and things like that, just like the old Tony Hawk games. That's what Urban Trial Tricky Deluxe is, and $3 is absolutely worth it for that game as well.
I accidentally just bought that.
Oops. Yeah, I'm over here looking at Baby's First Power Wash Simulator now. I did not know that existed.
I didn't either. I was just kind of going through it, and I saw that, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting."
So if Cow the kangaroo married Blinks the time sweeper, what would we get?
Oh boy.
Your favorite game ever?
You know, it's
0.5.
It's obviously KO's though, right? He's a kangaroo. He's got boxing gloves on. It's KO.
Mm,
Yeah, L.
I mean, I never played it. You should feel sad for knowing that.
Just, if you've seen the cover, it's a little more obvious.
Obvious.
Now, I haven't heard it. Maybe they do actually say cow, but in the game. But clearly to me, it's KO.
I mean,
I was saying it with an Australian accent because
Yeah, there you go,
kangaroo.
Right?
that makes sense. KO. Yeah.
KO, my
Or KO. It's like when Logan Paul uses brass knucks. Just no
Never
stopping
happened.
KO. Oh, you're right. Ah, it's an anniversary edition.
There is another edition that
I'm
has stuff
scarred.
in it, but that's not on sale.
Yeah, you're better off with Urban Trial, I think. Urban Trial, tricky. Alrighty. It's time for Kush's favorite segment that Wild West covers, Game Pass.
All right, out now we have Lego 2K Drive on cloud and console. It's arcade racing, automobile, open world game, 60 to 80 hour completion. The aforementioned Lil Gator game, cloud, console, and PC. Action adventure, 4 to 5 hour completion. Kona, cloud and console adventure game, 8 to 10 hours with a walkthrough. The other aforementioned game, Botany Manor, cloud, PC. So Kush has written here a Series X. Is that just we don't have 3 stacks, correct? It's just a 2. Okay.
Yeah, it's
That's
just a
correct.
two.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Botany Manor adventure, a puzzle game, looks to be a 4 to 5 hour completion with stack there.
probably.
So
Your first one's like
fine.
6, your second one's 2.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. So we have the other one that is out now, Shadow of the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, cloud, console, and PC, third-person shooter, stealth platformer, 40 to 50 hours with a walkthrough, and it contains all the DLC. Definitely check that one out. Very good. April 16th, we have Harold Halibut on cloud, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. Looks like an adventure game.
Looks really cool. The graphic style. It's like a claymation, I believe.
Yeah. Definitely looks interesting. Yeah. April 23rd, you have Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, role-playing turn-based. April 25th, we have Another Crab's Treasure, action-adventure Souls-like. And then April 26th, we have Manor Lords, strategy, possible Steam. Steam has it as a city builder as well. So those are the ones that are coming out this month. Leaving Game Pass on the 15th, so you have about 5 days to complete that. Amnesia Collection, survival horror, 15 to 20 hours with a walkthrough. We also have Amnesia Rebirth, survival horror, 12 to 15 hour completion there. Back for Blood, first person shooter, action horror, 150 to 200 hours, and also has 3 DLC packs. And I believe I just saw that they have the Ultimate Edition that has gone on a sale. So if you want to pick that up, does that include everything? I'm not familiar with the $10. So yeah, it's really cheap. Does that include all the DLC and everything then?
I think it is.
So-
Yeah, it's like the $100 version for $10.
Yeah.
So it's
So
better include
recommend
everything.
picking that up if you don't want to try to complete that before it leaves. Phantom Abyss is also leaving on platformer, and it's a platformer and roguelite. 25 to 30 hour completion there. Research and Destroy is a third-person shooter strategy turn-based game, 20 to 25 hours. And Soma leaves as well. Action adventure, 6 to 8 hours with a walkthrough.
All right, Kush, it looks like it's time for the Gamer Tag Challenge.
All right. So it's a new month in a week. And so we didn't do Gamer Tag Challenge last week because I wasn't here. So thank you guys for holding off and letting me do that. So last month, our Gamer Tag phrase was Big L can't win with a wild card game of any new achievement or previous completion in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. The bonus was stop trying to make Simul a thing because it's not. And that's earning achievements in games starting with the same letter as Big L. We're not going to force you to play the exact same games, but you do have to match the letters of the games. And that was worth 1 per game. The bonus was trying to give L a sandwich. So you were earning 5 achievements, and those achievements you would submit up to 5 achievements, because you want to make a tasty sandwich. If that 5th one was, I don't know, something gross like I can't think right now. I don't know, peppermint or something like that. You don't want that in your sandwich. You wouldn't submit that. And so the trade-off was, okay, well, I'll go with like this limited set of ingredients, or I can try to, nail 20 points or just get the 5 for just getting, 5 things. We had 15 participants, 8 completed phrases. We had 90 Thymoled games, even though it's not a thing. And we had 41 sandwich ingredients that were entered. Now, Elle, how would you like to go about talking about these sandwich submissions?
Well,
Because you were the one that had to choose the sandwich you thought was the tastiest.
I'm going to read down the list.
Okay.
As far as I know, you were the only one that knows what I picked.
Yes.
So maybe the others can guess what I picked.
Okay.
And I'll say that it wasn't necessarily something that I thought would taste the best, because creativity definitely matters when it comes to an achievement sandwich. So, like you said, there was a max of 5 ingredients, and most people had 5, but some had less. So the first one was jelly, scarab, a bee, cats, and kale. The second one also had a cat, turtle, horse, a whole potato, and Butterfingers. The third had fish, crab, jelly, burger, and egg.
A whole
fourth
burger
had-
on your sandwich?
Yeah, that's not too bad. I like eggs on my burgers, but
I mean,
Like a
That's a
burger
thing.
in your sandwich, though.
yeah.
yeah, why not?
Okay, anyways, keep
the
going.
The fourth one is tiger, chicken, bull, blood, and tears. The fifth one is alpha burger, carnival pig, and wet monkey. The sixth one is sausage, egg, hot dog, blackberry jam, and cookie. The next one is stone toast batteries, which I guess were thrown at me and I ate, and slice.
I wasn't sure if that was a
That's gotta-
slice of pizza or if that's just the drink. It's just like
Soda?
doused in slice. I don't know.
Probably mixed with that stone over there.
Yeah. It's like a French dip.
The next eighth is rabbit, sausage, lamb, deer, and cow. That is a meat lovers sandwich. and the next one is wheat, eagle, owl, and mint. And then this is a surprise submission. Not sure what that means. It is chicken, honey, iceberg lettuce, thyme, and ketchup.
Well, I'm going to tell you about that surprise submission, and then we'll hear what you wanted really quickly. Give me 1 second to set this up, and then we'll actually see this submission. Hold on.
Hey, Skeptical Mario here with another edition of Cooking Achievements. Today I'm making a sandwich for Big L because for the Gamer Tag Challenge he wanted some sandwich ingredients. So we have here some chicken. That's chicken dinner from Forza Horizon 5. We have honey drop from Stumble Guys. Iceberg lettuce. This is Iceberg Right Ahead from Dead Cells Windows Stack. We have thyme, which is For the Very First Time from Agalos. And ketchup, which is Just Pretend It's Ketchup from Cookie Cutter. What I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to cut the chicken breasts into cutlets, sear those on the skillet, and I'm going to make a honey ketchup glaze to coat the chicken in while it's cooking. And I'm going to mix in some ketchup and thyme on lightly toasted honey wheat bread and serve that with a leaf of iceberg lettuce for your sandwich. Enjoy. So there you have it. Simple, easy achievement chicken sandwich in Big L's honor. We're good.
Wow. Now, to keep it fair, because Mario did go through a ton of extra to submit that, we only presented L with the text to make his choice. But we thought that was awesome and should be shared. So thank you, Mario.
Good job.
Thank you indeed. Love that.
All right. I'm not sure how this is going to look like in the chat, but I'm going to try it anyway. Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Together. All right, we'll just count to 5 and pick all of those. You
Big
guys,
sandwich there.
if you want to guess what I picked, you can. But also, Koosh, do you have any idea of like which games and achievements these are coming from?
I do, yes.
Okay, that's a good answer.
I didn't take any stats on those. If you want to look them up, you can check out the sheet at some
You'll
point.
have to,
But no,
you'll
I
have to
didn't take any
show me.
stats.
I would love to know which games our people played.
Sure, I will send you that information, but not right now.
Okay. Or you want to guess?
Well, if you're going
Or do
off
you wanna-
of like
Or do you want to say your
real,
favorites?
I mean, I'm partial to the wet monkey, but
Mhm.
if we're going like a real sandwich, like the Mario's chicken, honey, iceberg lettuce, thyme, and ketchup, like that actually works. I really wouldn't want to eat a bee or batteries. Meat
Why
lovers
not?
is a close second, though.
That was my choice, was the meat lovers.
Well, gamey.
Meat lovers.
I kind of think that fish,
would-
crab, jelly, burger, and egg is actually edible. Like I could
Like
see that.
that
happening.
could work. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to point me to
Meat
those
crab.
fish sandwiches you'll eat then.
Take the crab out.
I mean, I could also eat that sausage, egg, hot dog, blackberry jam, and cookie. I mean, it's all
Yeah.
going to the same place. Those are all good
Right.
things.
Right to these thighs.
Right?
Dog. Oh. All right. Well, my favorite, which was the one that I told Koosh, and it got 20 additional bonus draws, I believe.
Yep.
Was the Tiger Chicken Bull Blood and Tears. Because I don't know, I really like chicken, and I like. I'm sure I would like bull, and blood and tears would be the condiments, and then tiger just is like the cat choice, but magnified. So that is what I went with.
I mean,
So it looks like that's Ace's submission from the chat.
yes, that was Ace's submission, and Tiger Blood always equals winning in my book. So yes.
It's gonna be
So-
summer season.
So the winner of the 20 extra bonus draws is Ace. When we break it all down, our top three scores are Scarovese, with 17 regular submissions and 5 ingredients. Chewy with 19 regular submissions, or I'm sorry, bonus submissions and 5 ingredients. And Northern Lass also with 19 bonuses and 5 ingredients. Our winner of the draw was Scarovese with the gamer tag, the wild card, 17 Simul bonuses, and 5 ingredients. So congratulations, Scatterbase.
Very nice.
And which one was his
Yeah, I was
sandwich?
just gonna ask that.
Oh, I don't know if he submitted. Do I have that? I have to look that up to see if he was one of the submitters.
Oh, you
I
could
will
win
let
without
him-
submitting a sandwich?
Yes, you can win. Yes, it was just to get you 20 extra bonus draws, 20
Oh.
extra chances to win that random draw, as opposed to the
Oh,
5.
well. I'm going to disqualify him if he didn't, submit a sandwich.
Well, then we're going to say
Right.
he actually did. Yeah, pretty sure he did.
Okay, cool. Congrats then, Scarface. All right, that was a lot of fun and very unique. Thank you, Koosh, for doing that. That was very funny.
If you can't win,
fun.
let's at least make it interesting.
I still can't win.
No, you still can't win. In April,
Okay.
our gamer tag phrase is April Fools. That's what you're trying to spell. Our wild card game is any new achievement or previous completion in a Game Pass game. Our bonus is Nanras, spelling up the 5 TA genres using the first letter of games not in that genre. The genre must be 5 or more characters in length, so you can't do MMO or golf. And it's one draw per letter in a completed genre. So pick those longer genres. Our bonus is they're the same picture. Spell 1 TA genre using games that are only in that genre or have that genre. So if it's a multi-genre game, as long as it has the same one as the one you're spelling, that's the goal that we're going for here. The genre must also be 5 or more characters in length, blah, blah, blah. And that is worth 2 draws per letter in a completed game. Limit 1. You get to pick 1, so pick the longest one. That's the smartest move there. That's April Fools. If you have any questions, check out the Gamertag Challenge channel in the Discord, and we'll have fun answering them there.
Cool. Some patron drawing? I don't like patrons. Yes, no, maybe so. Was I sleeping while you did it?
No, I don't normally do the patron drawing. I don't think I do. Okay, I'll do it
Oh.
for you. The patron
Yeah,
drawing
do it.
for this month.
I'm not doing it.
Oh, you want to do it? I'll let you do it.
I don't like this guy. No, I don't like this
We're
guy.
building
Or
suspense.
girl.
This guy or girl.
Oh,
Who's most
Just throw it,
definitely
in, throw it in there real quick.
and most likely not a girl.
fine, I'll do it. The patron drawing winner is someone who made the mistake of getting married recently. It is none other than LAX the Jester. Congratulations, my friend.
On both accounts.
Yes.
Oh, he has an alt married account?
Yes, he does. It is Australia the Jester.
Doesn't matter. In Brad Camp,
There we go.
we have
Oh,
completions
wow.
like we do every week. And this week, MDP
Oh.
is at the top of the leaderboard with 1,050 completed games. By top, I mean that's where I started. So next is Red 047, and he has 1,200 completed games, and that's it. So you guys did not complete that many games this week.
In
Shame on you.
streaks. In streaks, the top scorer is Sangria with a 50-day achievement win streak. Then the next one below that is Stega with 100 days. Redemption Denied also with 100. J Black also with 100, but it's a Canadian 100. MDP 73 also with a Canadian 100. Huh, interesting. Never seen them in the same place at the same time. Morbid 237 with 1,750 days. Enigma Gamer 77 with 1,950 days. Seamus McLiney with 2,750 days. And Matriarch with 3,850 days. Some would say that's more than a month.
That's more than a month.
Or two. In gamer score, we've got GT3 Option Fan with 200,000 gamer score, Grotesque Axe with 200,000 gamer score, Winter Muted with 250,000 gamer score, Surf Biscuit with 300,000 gamer score, iMike Zero with 600,000 gamer score, Freaky RO with 650,000 gamer score, J Block with 700,000 gamer score, Neon Prime with 750,000 gamer score, Eldritch SS with 800,000 gamer score, and Aniga Gamer 77 with 1.4 million gamer score.
Very nice. And leaderboards. Ace is in the top 5,000 of TA difference leaderboard for competitive ratio. And it wouldn't read that, but Ace is my friend just for this one day. Because he likes Tiger. Fluttery Chicken is now in the top 2,000 of England TA difference leaderboard for stealth. GT3 Option Fan, good to see you back and playing, is top 200. Georgia TA leaderboard for Xbox 360. Icefire TN now in the top 10 of completed games leaderboard for Metroidvania. How about that? Imagine if he was good at games. KT Echo is in the top 100 of the USA TA ratio leaderboard. Mike Pitch is in the top 50 of the New York TA difference leaderboard. Northern Last is now in the top 200 of the Europe TA True Achievement leaderboard. Scaravasi is now in the top 100 of the TA leaderboard for management. And Wheezy Fuzz is now third in the Oregon Gamerscore leaderboard for management. And I don't believe anybody submitted any brags this week. And to that I say tisk tisk. Always tag me in Bragcamp channel and I'll read whatever you put there. So just tag me. All right. I think the people in the chat are pining for some ducky races. So we're going to have to sadly end this episode, of which we've been going quite a long time. Maybe our longest live episode ever. You could see that Corey's background went from light to dark while we've been chatting.
Back to light.
Did it? Nah, no, it
Not
didn't.
at all. It was kind of like that time Waka turned into an angel
Yeah.
during that live show.
Bless.
You didn't sleep for like 48 hours straight. That was good times.
We give
Yes,
people
Angel
another
Walker.
minute or two to get their subscriptions in. Oh, do you wanna sign us out first, L, or
Bye. Oh no.
that's
Thank you so
not
much
out.
for
Sorry.
thank you so much for joining us
Thank
for
you.
this very, very special live show. It should be back to the first Tuesday of next month, but I'm sure there's something else I'm forgetting. Let's see what I'm doing on my calendar. Yep, should be good. So thank you so much for listening, and class is dismissed.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Later.
See ya.
And
Are
Don't leave if you're here.
are we going to do like a command for that video? I don't know if it can be hosted in Discord or not.
do a command for the video. It's a little too large for the Discord, so
That's what I thought.
we'll find a way. We'll probably put it up on our YouTube channel, or we'll check with Mario. And we'll figure out
that's
how to
right.
make that. Yeah, we'll figure out how to make that available.
Mario, do we have
I
to
mean-
purchase the video from you? Is it copyrighted? What's the deal here?
Yeah. After that, if the stream does get put to YouTube, we could put a link to the timestamp in the video. Might work.
But I'm thinking I don't have people suffer through us. We could have them just go straight to the good stuff, and so we
yeah.
just link Mario's. If you have your own channel, we can put it there, or we can put it on our channel. We'll figure all that out. So basically, we're just stalling to let people subscribe if they want to. I've already got the page up. I learn from my mistakes every now and then. So the page is already ready to go. I'm just waiting for people to subscribe, get those last minute subscriptions in. I'll download them. We'll get them entered. And I'm sure what could possibly go wrong.
The day you learn from your mistakes is the day that Control is actually complete.
And
I was going to say you talk to me every week, so
and Sexy Brutal. Yes. Just go to the beach again.
Botany Manor wins.
Honey, I need to complete another game. Let's go to the beach.
All right. I think we've waited long enough. Let's not keep these guys waiting any longer. I'll get the subscribers downloaded, and we'll
Mental, what you didn't see is that Mario's fingers in the sandwich as well.
that wasn't ketchup. It was
Right,
completely
correct.
all ketchup.
That was part of the blood.
I wouldn't recommend cutting cutlets that way if you want to preserve your fingers.
Nah, it's fine. I do it.
I refuse to believe that you cook in any capacity, Corey.
Yeah, I cook. You know what we made today? Quesaritos.
Quesarito.
I mean, it's mostly
Yeah,
my
what's
wife,
in
but
that?
I was there.
I'm
I was in
surprised
the
you didn't
house.
say queso.
Well, my wife was cooking. I was in the house smelling it.
Actually, I cooked the meat and I poured the rice in. The rest was her, but whatever.
Is that something you do? Because we do that. We'll take some of our favorite like fast food stuff and make healthier homemade options.
Sometimes she made like she does really good like homemade like Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets. They taste
Oh,
just
nice.
like them. And we've done Arby's Arby's one time.
You made Arby's?
Yeah, it's roast beef, buddy. That's why I have a whole bottle of Arby's
I'll get
sauce in my fridge.
That's what a pirate likes to eat.
All right. So let me get that shared here.
Arby's and kettle corn.
Yarbies. All right. This is who I've got as a subscriber, plus our age 101, which will be a reroll.
Hold on. Nerdy Neo just subscribed.
Oh
Who's
boy, we'll
legless
read him in.
hamster?
Late to the game, Neo.
Mr. Matrix.
Don't we need somebody like
Your card was
Use.
declined.
Don't use your
All right,
card.
Neo,
for
you owe us
sub.
$50.
Gotta use your Amazon. We'll put Skeppy in.
Yeah, the video deserved it. An entry.
Get an honest. Wait for me. No, I will not wait for you. I will just put you in and trust you.
We need quick quack patty
Me?
whack. Mario.
Mario. Now, this is the part of the show where I screw this up every time. We'll do a I think, 30
30
second.
minutes?
Yeah, we'll do a 3-second, 3-hour race.
That was pretty great. 30 seconds.
We're not gonna do colors only. That's Borley. Borley? Boring. We'll do colors
Oh,
and
boy.
costumes.
You are a sleepy butt.
And then we'll set. Give me a number between 1 and 3. Very good. 2.
2.
1, 2.
8.
And and off we go. Keeping in mind that we
There's
are a little
music?
ahead.
There's music and you don't put it on?
Yeah,
You do
late-
not want to hear this music.
I
yeah,
do
late
wanna
to the
hear it.
game Neo and Mental Night with the
Oh, God, Mario
advantage of
forgot to
being
keep going. He
naked.
just stopped.
Oh, Neo, even though you're late, you just don't. No, you got to hang
Wait,
back.
wait, no.
Draft,
No.
not Mike Pitch. No, we're going to re-roll if Mike Pitch
no,
gets it.
No.
Oh,
not
no.
again.
Oh, no. We'll never know if Mike Pitch won. Oh, crap.
No. It gets cut off.
Oh,
What
jeez.
happened?
Has been
Is he
surprisingly quiet
even
Okay,
tonight.
so that was the
Here.
practice round, everybody.
Yeah, he's got to be here. That was the rules.
Actually, I think, yeah, he won last week, too.
I think we
Last-
decided before the show that anyone from Philly can't win.
So, unfortunately for everybody, Mike Pitch won that. And he'll find out about it
2 months in a
tomorrow.
row.
Now, Wild West, you were telling me something about an extra
Yeah.
hockey race.
Yeah. Let's do it.
What you want to do about that? Are we saying what it is?
Let's do the people that are here right now.
The people that are here.
Let's just
right
do the
now.
people
Wait a
in
minute.
chat.
Gotta
Wait a
throw me
minute.
curveball.
Icefire
Yes?
has shown up after 3 hours of podcast. A little late.
Well, Icefire's in. He was a
He'll be-
sub.
for sure. Oh, was he? Yeah, was he in the?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's right there.
He's in.
right
He was
there.
in. You were in. All right, so now we're gonna do the who's here.
Let's take
I
out the
think-
H101.
Oh, yeah? If you were been here the whole time, what did I say about you during milestones?
Let's see. We got a lot of people here that I'm not sure.
You can
That's what I-
take C Dolo out. I know him. He'll be okay.
He'll offer his up, no problem.
Yeah, I said top 10.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
I've not seen
What else did I say?
ASMR. Any 0-0s.
Yeah.
I don't know. we could just do active people now.
That's
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
fine.
what I actually said is imagine you were good at games, how well you'd be. That's what I said. Next time, pay attention.
What
Like-
we'll do is if what
Who
we'll
are
do
these people?
is if someone responds, we'll give it to them. If they don't, we'll roll again,
Sounds good.
and
Okay.
we'll make this one a little faster. How about that? Go like
I don't understand.
good old 15.
Who are all those people?
Exactly. And if they're not listening, then they don't get to go,
No, those aren't real people.
and they won't respond, and then we'll go again.
I'm so
But maybe they
confused.
are real. It just doesn't talk.
And maybe you'll get to see 20 duck races because of it.
Maybe.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's
Wait,
that's
don't
not a real
spoil it,
name.
don't
How could
spoil
that
it, don't
possibly
spoil
be
it.
a real name? Let's go again.
Or if anybody here is named that, please make a recipe video.
Please submit a recipe video. Prove that you're a real
That's
human
funny.
and not just a bot.
All right. Well, I'll
Mm.
send you a message here after the show and get you your surprise.
Congratulations.
Send him a live duck.
Congratulations.
No. No live ducks.
All right. Well, what's that? You want to watch Super Fetch Dog? Okay. Okay. We'll do that. That's cool. We don't know what he won, Bug. It's a secret that is only
Oh.
between those two
Is this
guys.
carry-on?
This is Super Fetch Dog, the game I told you to watch out for in a couple months. Maybe it'll come to Xbox.
Mario, I probably would have eaten it.
Come on, this looks awesome.
I'd play
This-
this.
Yeah, I would totally play
This
this. I
is
would,
like that dear God.
no, how dare you? That looks like a somewhat decent game to me. All right. That's it.
You could buy this for $6 on itch.io.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's that on Steam too, I believe. All right, that's the show.
Indeed. Thank you, everybody, for watching us.
Oh.
And end.